Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the final game of Wild Card Weekend. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Houston Texans live from Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We got ourselves a thrilling matchup to cap off Wild Card Weekend, and maybe a defensive one, but we're all the way here for it. It's going to be an incredible game featuring two of the best defenses in the NFL. Quickly, let's break down the storylines coming into the week. The Houston Texans coach DeMeco Ryans wanted to enforce the swarm city mentality that the Texans have been building up internally all season. And he finally explained to everyone what that phrase means. What is Swarm City? What is that? And he's told everyone that Swarm City is not just a culture. It's not just a phrase. It's not just a play style. It's not just a mentality, but it's the entire team playing as one. The entire team needs to swarm around the football. And he says it time and time again. And no one's really understood what it meant until this 10-game winning streak the Houston Texans have been on. Yes, you heard that right. The Texans are on a 10-game winning streak, and they've spent a couple of those games without C.J. Stroud. And a big part of that is because the best defense in the NFL is in Houston, and they embody the term Swarm City. So from now on, I'm just going to refer to this defense as the Swarm City defense because that is what DeMeco Ryans has been trying to enforce in Houston every single game, every single week, day in, day out for this Houston Texans team. And now it might actually catch. It might be the next term. They swarm to the ball. Watch them on the field. They hit hard. They hit fast. They're flying everywhere, and they move together as one unit, which is why this Houston Texans team is called Swarm City, and that's what they've been trying to enforce. They are ready for this game. They are ready for this postseason, and they are trying to make what could be their franchise's first ever appearance in the AFC Championship game. They're one of two NFL, AAFL, technically, ever to not make a championship game. The other one was the New York Yankees in the AAFL. History lesson there for another time. Texans' only modern team not to make a championship game. They haven't made a Super Bowl, let alone won one, and this could be the Texans' year to make history. But they come against a Pittsburgh Steelers team that hasn't won a playoff game in nearly a decade. And when I mean that, I'm telling you, that's pretty crazy considering that head coach Mike Tomlin still, through 21 years as the coach of the Steelers, has not had a losing season yet. They finished this season the same as every other season, 9-8. They've done it with bad teams. They've done it with good teams. But they are here to snap that streak because what's different this time, they have a Hall of Fame quarterback on their side. Aaron Rodgers has had an incredible season, better than anyone could have asked for, even Steelers fans, Mike Tomlin, anyone. They've had a phenomenal season. It's just generally everything's meshing together finally for the Steelers. And everyone in Pittsburgh seems to think that if the last 10 years weren't it, this is the best chance we have at winning a playoff game. And they have full belief in Aaron Rodgers, less so in Mike Tomlin, but they believe in what this Hall of Famer can bring to the table, especially of what they have here. Mike Tomlin said, "We're the AFC North champions." And that sounds good and all that, and it feels good, but we didn't come here for that. We came here for what lies ahead. And the Houston Texans are what lie ahead tonight in Acrisure Stadium in the wild card round of the playoffs. So we have a fully defensive matchup coming to this one. Best defense in the league with the Houston Texans. And the Steelers, they're not exactly known for their running quarterback. They're improvising. So they might get into a little trouble early against this Texans defense, but we'll see how it progresses throughout the day. Can the Steelers manage to figure out how to win this game, or will the Texans defense prevail? We could have a final score anywhere around the 3-0 or probably closer to around the 17-14 range. I'm taking the Texans on this one. Give me the Texans 16-9 is my prediction. So the Texans win this one. It's not going to be a great scoring game, but Pittsburgh, they might I have a feeling they're going to struggle quite a bit with the Texans defense, which it's hard not to, frankly, against this Texans. They're second best defense probably in the NFL. I know there's a lot of things to be said about the Seattle Seahawks defense, but I will say this Texans defense, if you haven't watched them, go watch some clips. They're everywhere. They fly across the field, place to place. There is absolutely no stopping this Houston Texans defense, especially not with a middling offense like the Steelers have been this season. They haven't been phenomenal moving the football, but they're going to need to be able to find a way if they have any shot at beating the Houston Texans tonight. And I say that knowing that the Texans offense isn't all that great either, but frankly, the Steelers defense isn't quite up to the task either. They've had some injuries this year, but they're still fighting their way into potentially giving themselves a chance. I mean, they still have secondary members that can make plays. They still got Joey Porter Jr. back there, even without Deshaun Elliott. They still have Alex Highsmith, Patrick Queen, TJ Watt. They got the young guys, Derek Carmen, of course, the veteran, longtime veteran, probably future Hall of Famer, Cameron Hayward. They have everyone they need to make this a win for the Steelers. They just have to put it in place and execute properly against this Texans defense. The game has not started. Starts probably after this commercial. I'm still warming up to it. Aaron needs to get to the Super Bowl to face the Bears one last time. That would be a Super Bowl. That would certainly be a Super Bowl. I'm happy. I'm kind of want the Texans to win. Like, I understand the Rodgers love here, and this is unpopular considering who's around right now. But the Texans, they're an interesting team. They're fun. I would love to see a Texans-Broncos game. A Texans-Broncos game would be incredible as any playoff game. AFC Championship, Texans-Broncos. I mean, if the Texans win this one, they're playing the Patriots. But if they get through that one and we get Texans-Broncos, that might be the fiercest, most intense defensive championship game we've ever seen. That's why I want the Texans to win. If the Steelers win this one, they're probably going down to New England. I mean, honestly, they're going down to New England. If they don't beat New England, they're probably going down to the next person, to the Broncos. It doesn't mean necessarily a whole lot. I love defensive. When it's good defense, it's not that bad. You just need some good defensive plays out here. And this one's not going to be a high octave offensive game. It's going to be Texans Steelers. I mean, it's going to be, you got to expect what you've been given all season long, which is defense. The Steelers, they win by grinding out their wins. They don't win well. No one ever said they won well. They haven't had any truly triumphant victories this year. It's always been kind of close, except for that one time they played the Dolphins. But everyone else, they only barely beat. They only barely beat the Ravens last week. They only barely beat the Ravens the time before that. They keep on getting by just barely winning games. And that's how they're going to have to win. They got to keep this game close against the Houston Texans because, little fun fact, every game they've been outscored 27-0 in the first quarter in the last decade of playoff games. Kickoff, we're underway from Pittsburgh as Kaimi Fairbairn kicks it off, and it'll be taking a knee in the end zone. So the Pittsburgh Steelers will be starting off the day on offense. Here comes Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers. He's had 7 straight games without an interception this year, but he's facing the Texans defense, which forces the second most defense out of anyone in the NFL. The only team that forces more are the Chicago Bears. Barely won the Texans. Yeah. I mean, neither team wins by a lot. Okay, that's why it could be very close. That's why I said it's going to be a 1-score game. I'm almost certain. But it's gonna be tight. I think Patriots-Chargers is gonna end up as the worst game of WILDCARD weekend. And quick motion. It's gonna be a handoff to Jaylen Warren, and Jaylen Warren's got a nice little seam, and Warren's gonna go up the middle for a gain of 10 and an opening first down. Good start to this game for Pittsburgh. You saw the left side of the line pushing back, getting to the second layer very easily, and a nice cut by Jaylen Warren as well to start this game off the right way for Pittsburgh. Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They brought him on just recently to be their offensive coordinator, and things are kind of working out for them with their advanced scheme. It's very similar to what we're used to seeing from Arthur Smith offenses. It's just a little elevated. It's a little more centered around a passing quarterback than maybe some other Arthur Smith offenses were, like Tennessee's Atlanta. They were more flexible, but this is working fine for him. It's a quick little forward screen to DK Metcalf, and Metcalf's going to keep moving his legs. He's going to get 17 in the first down. And the Steelers are rolling to start this game. And everyone in Pittsburgh's on their feet in the 33-degree weather of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it's just a quick little forward screen. But Metcalf just takes it all himself. He's got really excellent blocking there from Calvin Austin and Marquez Valdez-Scantling to get the first down. The This offensive line for the Steelers, Dylan Cook, Isaac Seumalo, Zach Frazier, Mason McCormick, and Troy Fautano have been leading the way for the Steelers' offensive line. Good start to this game for them. Rodgers is going to hand it off to Jaylen Warren. Warren, a nice cut before he is dragged down by all-pro corner Derek Stingley Jr., who's been one of the best, if not the best, corner in the NFL. Will Anderson Jr. is a first-team all-pro on this Texans D-line, including Sheldon Rankins, Tommy Togiai. Linebackers, Henry To'o, love that guy. Aziz Al-Shire is a Pro Bowler. And Derek Stingley Jr., as I said, he's an all-pro this year, first team. Probably the best cornerback in the NFL this season. And he's got the assignment of DK Metcalf today. 2nd and 9 for Pittsburgh after the 1-yard run from Jaylen Warren. Austin in motion, and it'll be another handoff to Warren, who is dragged down by the other first-team All-Pro, Will Anderson. He's going to get 2 yards, bring up 3rd and 7. Steelers, Jaylen Warren's the running back. Rodgers, of course, the quarterback. Their receiving unit looks something like DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, the midseason trade acquisition, or maybe it is a pickup, Adam Thielen, and then the tight ends, which you'll see cycling in and out. They have an interesting tight end format. Arthur Smith loves his tight ends. You got Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, and Connor Hayward, Cam Hayward's brother. There's an injured Texan on that last play. He's on the field. He's standing, but they're going to give him a minute here and perhaps our first TV timeout. That is, I don't really know. Jalen Reed. Who is this guy? I'm just blind. He's not on their on their depth chart over there. So I was looking over at the players. He's not there. So that's Jalen Reed. Jalen Reed, safety, rookie out of Penn State. Jeez, that took forever. Okay. It's just, come on, ESPN. What are you doing to me? The Steelers have been outscored. Look at this, 73-0 in the first quarter during their 6-game playoff losing streak. So they don't score in the first quarter, so it'd be huge for them if they could here. Rodgers is going to throw on 3rd and 7, and he is going to well overthrow Kenneth Gainwell. So it'll be 4th and 7. So the Steelers got off to a quick start, and the Texans manned up and got a quick shutdown. So they will have a punt coming up there. And no, it was just not a good throw by Aaron Rodgers. He did want to get it around Henry Toto, but he just didn't have the angle quite to get the first down. So Corliss Waitman will punt this one off. Jalen Noel is the return man, and he will fair catch it at the 10-yard line. So opening drive took 3 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock, and it was a solid start, but ultimately the Steelers went nowhere. So out comes C.J. Stroud and the Texans offense for the second drive of the game. When we come back. I mean, the running game looked solid there. The Jaylen Warren run was quite promising for the Steelers. That's worth getting excited about against the Texans team that doesn't necessarily allow a lot of these plays, a lot of those big plays for them. It's a very fascinating start to this, but the Texans, they did man up there at the end to keep them from getting any further yards. All right. But the big Swarm City, I'll keep highlighting these plays, the Swarm City plays. The big Swarm City play on that one was on the 2-yard run, or on the 1-yard run on their the one after the 17-yard pass to DK Metcalf, when the one who made the tackle was nowhere near him at the start of the play. If you look back on that play, it was just a 1-yard handoff to Jaylen Warren, and Warren gets through the first layer. He tries to bounce it to the outside, and the All-Pro Derek Stingley Jr. just soars in to make the play. I mean, that's just the best it gets at that level. So that was probably your Swarm City play of the drive there for the Houston Texans. All right, let's do some topics. What topics do we want? Just shout things out during commercial break, talk about them as long as I can talk about them for. Because why not? It's the playoffs. Playoffs? It's the playoffs. So, yeah, pretty much this game's going about as expected at the moment. Just a lot of defense for the Texans. So the Texans, they're only the 7th team ever to make the playoffs after starting 0-3. They got 9 straight wins to end the season. This is their 3rd straight playoff appearance, which is a franchise record for them. So this has been a historic year for the Houston Texans, whether Texans fans want to admit it or not, because it hasn't been a particularly beautiful year offensively, worse than it was a couple of years ago. Look at this. DeMeco Ryans, first Texans head coach to make the playoffs in each of his first 3 seasons, which when you look at it, makes sense. DeMeco Ryans was a phenomenal hire by them a few years ago, and he's just continued that success throughout his career. 1st and 10 for the Texans from their 10. Stroud will start under center, and he'll hand it off to the rookie running back, Woody Marks, who's going to get about 4 yards. They're going to give him 5. They're feeling generous. So it'll be 2nd and 5. So 9 and 5 is CJ Stroud this year, averaging 217 yards per game and 19 passing touchdowns. But he missed those 3 games in the dead smack center of the year, and on a game when they thought their season was on the line. Davis Mills came in and led them to a win, mostly thanks to their defense. Stroud's going to throw this one, and it's a quick throw. Oh, my goodness, and a dangerous pass inside brings up 3rd and 5. That could have easily gotten intercepted. We have an issue. Oh, okay. My coverage just caught out. I was like, uh-oh. But look here, Nico Collins, he gets popped. I don't know what Stroud was thinking as he tries to laser one in between 5 defenders, and it's just lockdown coverage. Nico Collins got banged up a bit, and Dalton Schultz almost caught it. Alex Highsmith had to bat that one down. That could have gone wrong in many, many ways for the Houston Texans. There were at least 5 people who had a chance to catch that football. So 3rd and 5 now for the Texans. Early risky pass from CJ Stroud. Oh, there's going to be a false start. No way he's going to get away with that. Stroud goes way deep. He's got it. 1st down. Christian Kirk. No way. He was so funny. That was a false start. It looked like he jumped. What a throw by CJ Stroud. Christian Kirk gets his arms under it, and a big play. I thought he moved early. I mean, he might have just been perfectly on time. Okay. I think he got away with one there. I think he got away with one just a bit. I think he was a little early coming off the line, but it's a big gain for the Texans. So 1st down for Houston at inside Steelers territory. Hand off Woody Marks. He's going to get 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. Greg, don't worry, I got you. These referees are... Oh, I have no idea. Craig Rolstad's crew, Frank Sterator, John Jenkins, Rich Martinez, Daniel Gallagher, Brandon Cruz, and Brett Bergman. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know these guys. Nico Collins is named to a Pro Bowl for the Texans. His fellow receivers, Jaden Higgins, Dalton Schultz, and Jalen Noel, of course. Woody Marks, rookie out of USC, on that wide receiver unit there. Their offensive line, I'll get to in a moment. 2nd and 8. Stroud hands off to Marks, and Marks is going to get about another yard. All right, starting to be reminiscent of the Eagles game right now. Handoff, incomplete. We'll see if this continues here for Houston on 3rd and 6. Steelers defense, I've already gone over all the talented members on their defense with this Texans offensive line. Arante Ursery, Titus Howard, Jake Andrews, Ed Ingram, and Trent Brown are responsible for run blocking today for the Texans O-line. They got to be able to get a little more forward push there, but it's tough when you got a guy like Cam Hayward back there absolutely just stuffing every run. 3rd and 6, play clock's at 1. The Texans don't get this off. I think they're going to have to call a timeout. And they will, unless they call it. Did they not get it off? Yeah. So DeMeco Ryans gets his timeout out there, but the crowd noise here in Pittsburgh is affecting the communication of the Texans offense. So not a beautifully executed drive for the Texans right now, but they do have the bonus of that big pass earlier. It's like you said, I'll play time. Let's just save us all the time. What? I mean, honestly, knowing the Texans season, this is average. This is about right. They're going to get a defensive touchdown later. Final score is going to be 7-3. There's Terrell Austin, the Steelers' defensive coordinator. Him and Mike Tomlin kind of co-coordinate this defense for the Steelers. It's 3rd and 6. Oh, false start. You got to call that. Okay, I was right this time. Okay, he was early the first time, and he was really early the second time. So here's Craig Rolstad, and this is a false start. 3rd and 11. Now coming up for the Texans. This Steelers crowd is into this game. They're playing the role of 12th man here in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the same guy. I think he jumped early on that first play as well. He's just getting off the ball just a second too fast. It's like I don't know that he's watching the ball. I think he's hearing the snap. And this time he jumps legally. There's a blitz coming. Stroud hits it, and he's got to have to floor it. And great pressure from the Steelers defense. Blitz from TJ Watt and Patrick Queen on the pressure. So 4th and 11, Texans get to midfield, same as the Steelers, and they're going to have to punt now. You see the pressure just comes from the edge, and Watt tries to finish him. Good job by C.J. Stroud getting rid of it at least. But that was Eccles, I think, on the pressure. So here is Tommy Townsend, Super Bowl winning punter, the Kansas City Chiefs. Townsend will punt. Oh, okay, that was his own player. And it is a poor punt. And it'll be at the 25 where the Steelers are going to start their drive. So about a 25-yard punt. So he kind of shanked it off the side of his foot. So not a great start for the Texans offense / special teams right now. So the Steelers looking better. They're looking better than the Texans. They have outplayed them on this first half of the first quarter. But there's still a lot of football left to be played. Yeah. Both quarterbacks have completed one pass. Stroud has the 36-yard to Christian Kirk, and Rodgers the 17-yard to DK Metcalf. WILDCARD weekend got started off in a great way on Saturday afternoon when the Panthers took on the Texans. And dare I say, man, that was a better game. That was a better game than I could have hoped for. But I really was. I was rooting for the Panthers the whole way. I had full belief in them. They mostly proved me right because I haven't minded the Panthers this year. They have been an entertaining team to watch, all things considered, this season with their late comebacks and their strong performances. They haven't been bad by any means, and that was very entertaining. Even though they didn't win, they have a lot to be proud of, like a lot to be proud of going into next season because that was the best wildcard performance we've seen from an NFC South team in years. Most entertaining, at least. Because they managed to win that. I mean, remember the last time, like, the Bucs won, they beat the Eagles or whatever. It's just like, okay. I'm like, even though we didn't think they were going to win that anyway. Eagles were playing terribly that year. They cleaned house. They're going to have to do that again this year with Kevin Patullo. We'll get to that later. And these are fast commercials. So I guess I'll just do a wild card game commercial, and then we'll bring other topics into the conversation whenever we finish those. Sorry. We might do that later. article about the quotes of the year in college football and the headlines from Curt Cignetti, national championship coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. They're going to the national championship in Miami to play Miami. We're looking forward to that. And his quote was, "I do smile. I am happy sometimes." Aaron Rodgers rolls left, signature throw to DK Metcalf, and Metcalf's over the 50 to the 46-yard line. And a huge play there, 25 yards, Rodgers to Metcalf. And look at Aaron Rodgers slinging like his Packers days. This was incredible. It's not even a good play action. He just keeps rolling left, and the sidearm through 2.5 defenders, including Togiai. And he just slings it in there. Classic Aaron Rodgers throw. 42 yards, all of them to Metcalf. Rodgers to throw again. He's going to throw one up for Metcalf. A lot of PI. And they're going to call it on Kamari Lassiter, who was trying to keep up with DK Metcalf and decided the only way that was possible was holding. Yeah, I mean, pretty severe interference of the route. So that'll be spotted to foul, another 14 yards, and the Steelers are at the Houston 33-yard line in just 2 plays. Yeah, that is a mismatch there. They need to move Kamari Lassiter off of DK Metcalf quickly. It needs to be Stingley or Petrie on him at all times. You cannot trust the weak link. I mean, the entire defense is very strong. And granted, Kamari Lassiter is better than any cornerback on the Miami Dolphins, but it's a bit of a mismatch there. Handoff Gainwell, solid run from Kenneth Gainwell before he's taken down by Tagai. Could have gone for 6 there. I'm going to go Tommy Togiai. Togai. There's Toto and Togai. If you know how to say it, let me know. Google it or something. I couldn't even begin to try. I need someone telling me these things like they do. 2nd and 4. Then again, it took them a really long time to figure out how to say Devon Achane. That was funny. Rodgers is going to hand it off to Gainwell again, and Kenneth Gainwell with a beautiful cut. He's going to get the first down. Kenneth Gainwell sends a man flying, and they love Kenneth Gainwell here in Pittsburgh, and understandably, he gains well for this Steelers offense. He's better, I think he's better than Jaylen Warren. I think he's more electric. He has more of the big play. Look at that move. I mean, that is a Saquon Barkley-esque cut at the line of scrimmage. Put your foot in the ground, dodge, and just keep running. That is a phenomenal run by Kenneth Gainwell. I did. I'm going to do it more, too, when he scores. Rodgers, blitz coming, throws one up, incomplete over the head of Jonnu Smith. 2nd and 10 now for Pittsburgh. .6:46 to go here in the first quarter. Steelers are at the Houston 21-yard line. Acrisure Stadium over the beautiful city of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, voted one of the best places in the United States to win. I think they were the best place to live in the United States this year. Calvin Austin in motion on the top of your screen. Rodgers is going to throw. Pressure coming. He's going to throw that way, and there's no one in town. So it'll be incomplete 3rd and 10. And the Texans defense, that's what we were expecting, just the relentless pass rush. Will Anderson Jr. tried to grab at his ankles. And again, it's the swarm. He wasn't going down there. He was on the floor, and he was army crawling his way to Aaron Rodgers and forced Rodgers to get a little panicky, and he had to throw that one far over the head of Calvin Austin. There's Adam Thielen, number 16. Rodgers is all alone. Texans might be bringing some blitz here. Play clock's at 2. 1. They barely get it off. They only rush 4. It's a quick throw to the sideline to Austin. And sorry, that's not Austin. That is Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's going to not get the first down quite yet. It'll be 4th and 3. So the Steelers are going to opt to kick a field goal, it looks like. Yeah. So Chris Boswell will come out onto the field. He's 17 of 17 in the playoffs. 49 yards is his long in the postseason. And this one is a 32-yard, what is considered a chip shot for him. It was a bad snap, great hold, and a great kick. Credit to Corliss Waitman. That was a bad hold. That was a bad snap. Boswell does well. He does indeed. The famous Bridges of Pittsburgh. It's what they're known for. That and Mike Tomlin. 3-0. The Steelers have the early lead in Wild Card Weekend's finale. I'm going to reset my TV because there was an issue earlier. And I want to make sure I'm not entirely certain I'm caught up. It's happened before. All right, second playoff game was, of course, the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, sorry about that, man. The Bears with another heroic comeback, 21-6, going into the fourth quarter. I needn't remind you, though. And they gave that up all the way up for a eventual Bears win, 31-27. And Caleb Williams balled out. And, I mean, honestly, Jordan Love did as well. So they played really well, if that's any consolation. But the Bears, they continued to just bring that mentality of we're never out of the game. And the Packers, likewise, they got some things to work on. I'm always right. Let's just clear that now. I was correct when I said I don't see the Packers going far with the current state of affairs with their offense and their defense getting injured. They peaked at the wrong time. If they had peaked later in the year, it would have been a lot more efficient. Okay, it's yeah. Happy for them, kind of. Yeah, I will say there's something I want to talk about later. Was my predictions about head coaches this year were almost dead accurate, which we'll talk about later. But the Packers, this was not. They should not have lost this game. They should have won. It should have been over at 21-6. They should have carried that momentum to the end. However, they need to re-sign Matt LaFleur. It would be idiotic for them not to. I'm sorry, but you cannot fire Matt LaFleur. If you do, guess where he's going? And I would have nothing happier than to see him come right here, because that's where he would go. We already have his assistant general manager. It would just be like, oh, let's see. Am I going to go work for people who don't want me, or am I going to work for people who already have people who want me? Like, I'm okay with you firing him. From a team perspective, do not fire him. It's the wrong decision. Renew his contract and renew it fast. Ooh, a good kick, spikes it there, so he's going to have to return it regardless and takes it out to the 26. Noel was just going to let it bounce to the end zone, but it just stopped. So the Texans will start at their own 26-yard line. I think Matt LaFleur is a great coach. I think you need to keep him on for a longer time than this, especially considering he hasn't really failed you yet. This has not been a good season, but it hasn't been bad. I mean, you look at the other teams who would rather have him, Las Vegas, he would be the second most popular candidate on the market, and Miami would actually jump over John Harbaugh to get Matt LaFleur just because of the communication he has with John Eric Sullivan, which I'll give my thoughts on the whole Miami situation later as well. So 1st and 10 for the Texans, C.J. Stroud to throw. It's a good throw, and he's going to low point it for Nico Collins, who's going to get 4 yards. 2nd and 6 for the Texans. That was good defense, but an excellent throw, zipping it in there from C.J. Stroud. Oh, apparently there was pushing and shoving after the kick return. Oh, Nico Collins did not catch that football. Mike Tomlin should throw the challenge flag. I would snap the ball if you're the Texans. He doesn't get it off. Handoff, Woody Marks. And Marks is going to plow forth for a 6-yard gain. And they're going to give him 5. 3rd and 1. So the refs, they're not catching a whole lot. The refs are not catching everything they should be. I'm not a fan of some of these calls. But yeah, that was more Mike Tomlin. He needed to get better information because they didn't snap it particularly quickly. But it's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Houston Texans now. And it'll be a handoff to Woody Marks. Marks has to make a move. It looks like he's going to get the first down. Steelers played that about as well as they could, though. But a nice move from the rookie Woody Marks. Running back has been an issue for the Texans pretty much all throughout the year. And they got this guy, Woody Marks, 5'10", out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's the 4th-round pick out of USC, 208 pounds. He's small, he's stout, and he's strong. He can power through pretty much anything. He's mini Joe Mixon. They went lateral, but he's younger. And Woody Marks, he's been excellent. 703 yards this season, 6th most by any rookie. And here's another one for Woody Marks, who's going to get 3. Okay. They're saying 3. I thought it was easily 5. 2nd and 7 then, I guess, for the Houston Texans. Okay. First quarter winding down now. 3:40 left. Joey Porter Jr., according to Next Gen Stats, he has 1,467 consecutive coverage snaps without allowing a touchdown, which is the longest streak by a cornerback. That's a lot of snaps. Is he even allowed a touchdown this season? It's a screen pass to Nico Collins. That was a struggle. It's going to be 3rd and 3. There's a guy out there who was tasked with blocking 2 very good corners. Just one guy. Put him on everyone. Yeah, he was blocking everyone. Nick Herbig this season, 7.5 sacks, 27 pressures, and 18 quarterback hits, which are all career high for him. And Nick Herbig really has been one of the high points of this Steelers defense this season. It's been fun to watch all around. Stroud is going to throw here. He throws over the middle. It's a laser and a first down. And a great throw and a little bit of friendly fire. Steelers defender thinks he intercepted it. He did not. Xavier Hutchinson got the first down there, and what a throw that was. It's a good route from Hutchinson. So he just puts his foot in the ground perfectly, and it's a well-timed play. And look at Stroud under a lot of pressure, just delivering a laser to Xavier Hutchinson. Really good throw and a really good route. So the Texans are at the Pittsburgh 41 now. Stroud, another handoff to Woody Marks. It's a far flea flicker. And Stroud fumbles. It's Steelers football. That play went wrong every way imaginable. And the Steelers have the ball. That was a disaster. That was a horribly executed flea flicker. It looks like Woody Marks forgot that it was a flea flicker until he was 9 yards away from him. And then he tosses it back like he's a quarterback. And then it is a strip sack there from Sawyer. That was really unfortunate. That was quite humorous. Yeah, that's a fumble strip sack there. My goodness, that was terrible. Jack Sawyer with the strip and Yaya Black with the cover. Oh my goodness, that was probably borderline the worst flea flicker I've ever seen. Woody Marks I feel like he thought he was like, wait a minute, did you say flea flicker? And that was after Stroud dropped back deep and he was like, where's the ball? Oh, that was not pretty. So it'll be Steelers football. Unfortunate end to that drive there. So Jack Sawyer, he's the rookie out of Ohio State. Couple of 4th-round picks going at it. Sawyer forced the fumble. And it was the other 4th-round pick on the other side, Woody Marks, who it was mostly his fault, to be honest. And the man who recovered it, Yaya Black, 5th-round pick out of Iowa. So the Pittsburgh Steelers rookies getting it done in this one. And what a name as well, Yaya. Yahya. That's what all those Steelers fans were saying after the turnover. That was a disaster. My goodness. So, came Sunday afternoon, the Buffalo Bills took on the Florida's team, Jacksonville Jaguars. And that was entertaining. The Jaguars played really well for the majority of the game. Similar case to the Panthers. It was just fun watching. And it was fun watching their run. Ultimately, they couldn't pull off the upset, but it was very fun to kind of watch them play. And it's really been an honor to watch the Jaguars be good and to see their team just revitalized. So really credit Liam Cohen and all he's done, and just fantastic. They're Florida's team now, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more Jags fans than any of the others now. Can't beat Superman? No. Yeah, I'm afraid not. I'm going to push this back a bit. Actually, I might move that. Oh, yeah. Fix the angle. Hope Jackson keep it up next year. Yeah, it would be really sad if they had another Urban Meyer kind of Doug Peterson meltdown. Kind of play, when you got such good, talented coach and, Trevor Lawrence shows signs, then it just falls short. But a lot to be proud of from Jacksonville. It'll be a handoff to Warren, and Warren is swarmed and pushed back. It'll be 2nd and 10. There were 11 Texans there before he knew it. Take a look at Jack Sawyer here. He's a 1-on-2 assignment there for the tackle, and he just loses track of one of them. It was a very deceiving defensive scheme. He kind of had him. Yeah, I mean, he had the touchdown. Jalen Ramsey got beat. Stroud just had to get rid of it. He needed a second more. That was an interception, I believe. It counted for an interception. It wasn't even a strip sack. It was, I guess, strip interception. It's unclear. It was a turnover. So Rodgers is going to throw here. Will Anderson coming strong off the edge, and it's a good throw. It's dropped. Oh. It was a great throw by Aaron Rodgers. He absolutely put it in his hands, and that would have been incredible. And DK Metcalf just lets it fall off his fingers. It was a beautiful move as well. Against one of the best corners in the NFL, you cook him that bad, and then you can't make the catch. He just doesn't reel it in. And Aaron Rodgers, he's like, how did I get stuck with this team? That was about as good of a throw as it gets, though. 3rd and 10 already for Pittsburgh, as this Texans defense is determined to lock him down. Anderson, pressure coming. Rodgers steps up, throws underneath. He's got it, but he's not going to get the first down. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had the catch, so it'll be 4th and 5. So the Steelers are punting. So as bad as that flea flicker was, the Texans are going to get the ball back. I mean, not with nearly as good a field position, but their defense, as per usual, keeping them in games. Turnovers don't mean much for the Texans. Corliss Waitman for his second punt of the game. And it's a high one. And another good one. Now Noel decides to field it. And that'll go to the 8-yard line where the Texans will start their drive. Lucky break there from Jalen Noel catching it. So let's look at Mike Tomlin in the playoffs. His first 4 seasons, he was 5-2 with 2 AFC championships and a Super Bowl champion with Ben Roethlisberger over in Pittsburgh. Since then, he's 3-9. He's lost 6 straight, and they have 8 seasons without a playoff win. So it hasn't been very pretty since that point, but the Steelers, they still keep him around. Why? Because he's a winning coach. He just doesn't lose. I mean, you look at his resume. He's finished with a winning record with a quarterback like Mason Rudolph twice. Little play action. Stroud rolls to his right and completes it, and he will get out of bounds for a gain of about 8. So it'll be 2nd and 2. I mean, yeah, Pittsburgh's talking. They're always saying, oh, fire him. Oh, it was Cade Stover in his second year out of Ohio State, who made that catch there. They always say, fire him, fire him. I'm like, how on earth do you fire a coach that hasn't had a losing season, but he's had like 7 quarterbacks? He's been stuck with Mason Rudolph, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. I mean, look at what Justin Fields is doing over with the Jets right now. He won 9 games with that guy. Him and Russell Wilson, who's over being a bench warmer for the New York Giants. I mean, you cannot say that he doesn't have a winning formula. There's no reason to fire him. That's the only point I got for him. It doesn't make sense. I get that they might need a change. I could get why he would want to leave. Like, get out of there. You know, you haven't had the talent to win in years. But whatever. The second game of the wild card playoffs was frustrating. The second game of Sunday, yesterday's slate, was the Eagles losing by 4 to the San Francisco 49ers. And at last, the Eagles have an excuse to fire Kevin Patullo. Not that they needed one. I promise, if they keep him on, if they don't fire him in the next, couple of days or so, I guarantee you there will be riots in Philadelphia because they hate that guy. And even more so when his game plan coming into the 49ers game was, let's run the ball up the middle twice with Saquon Barkley and then throw an incompletion deep to A.J. Brown just every time. A.J. Brown, I'm starting to think his time's up because he pretty much didn't catch a clutch pass all game. He had one of the worst performances I've ever seen from A.J. Brown. He just dropped every pass that came his way. And there was a lot of things that led to the Eagles' downfall against San Francisco's because, frankly, they outplayed them quite badly. Like, San Francisco did not have a good game. It was just the Eagles didn't win it. They didn't make winning plays. They couldn't close it out. And that was the main issue, is they had bad play calling with Kevin Patullo. They had bad execution. A.J. Brown dropped every pass. Jake Elliott missed a field goal. And an extra point. Things went wrong. Things just weren't right for the Eagles. They just weren't. They weren't correct. And that's why they could have won in a variety of different ways, but they couldn't. They didn't. And so we'll go over the final game on the next commercial break. So Texans Steelers, look at the Steelers defense. They're having a great start to this one. They're swarming CJ Stroud, get into him quickly, putting pressure on it. This really awful flea flicker that they capitalized on beautifully. By the way, I think they're calling it a fumble. Is the official call right now for that play? And the crowd here in Pittsburgh is rumbling as they're trying not to give the Texans even a chance. Houston, you have a problem. That's a clever sign. Yeah, it was a fumble, by the way, debatably. 2nd and 2 for the Texans. Oh, it's a bad snap. Stroud's rolling back. He gets it off. Oh, my goodness, it's incomplete. What a save from C.J. Stroud. That could have gone terribly in more ways than one. The screen moved, and then I look up, and the ball is flying, and Stroud carrying the team on his back right now, even though he cleanly dropped that snap. And D'Amico Ryans, the face of a coach who doesn't like what he's seeing. His team is just collapsing from the inside out. And Stroud rolls. He's got the first down to Christian Kirk. Oh, man, after all of those theatrics, they get the first down. Unbelievable save by C.J. Stroud. There's been a disastrous couple of plays for Houston as Kirk gets it. Good throw. Here's Nick Caley in his first season as the Texans offensive coordinator. He was with the Rams last season, and he wasn't the popular pick among Texans fans, and he hasn't done a phenomenal job, but he's done all right. There was a lot of questions about why on earth they fired Bobby Slowick, but they did. Stroud throws incomplete, out of reach of Dalton Schultz. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Houston Texans. He just overthrew Dalton Schultz there. Showing Joey Porter here on Nico Collins and just how close he is I mean, it looks like they're dancing. He's he's right up on him. And that's just the kind of stuff you get from a lockdown all-pro corner like him. Stroud throws, lasers one in over the middle to that same matchup. It's Nico Collins, his go-to guy. First down, Houston. Man, it's really that matchup. Watch this today because already just what we've seen throughout this first quarter has just been Nico Collins and Joey Porter. Whoever's got one step wins. Whoever has the better stepping. Like he was a solid inch from that being intercepted or from that being knocked away. Sorry. 1st and 10. No emotion. Fake the handoff and hand it to Woody Marks. Woody Marks lowers his shoulder on Patrick Queen to get 6 yards, 2nd and 4. And the Texans upping the physicality a bit here early in the second quarter. Yeah, pretty much every time you see the pass go to, they're going to show him lower his shoulder again here. Just boom. Just helmet to helmet, shoulder to shoulder on Patrick Queen, who is a phenomenal tackler, but he gets the extra yardage. Hand off Woody Marks, and Marks is wrapped up by Nick Herbig. It's 3rd and 3 now for the Texans. And Steeler Nation is making some noise here in the Steel City. $12.5 before half. Texans are 37% on 3rd down, just 23rd in the NFL. They've converted 4 of 5 tonight. Stroud, he's going to throw here. Steps up, and it is completed. It's Dalton Schultz for a 6-yard gain and a 1st down. And it was a low-pointed throw from C.J. Stroud. Did he catch this? Yeah, he did. Well done. Good job, Dalton Schultz. On 3rd down, he's got 24 receptions, and 17 of them have been 1st downs, which is 2nd among tight ends. And off to Woody Marks. Or sorry, not even. It's Nick Chubb. And Nick Chubb is way over for 9 yards. Yeah, Nick Chubb, first season with the Texans. He spent his first 7 with the Browns, and he was great there, and then he got injured, and everything was downhill for Nick Chubb. But he's trying to recapture some of the brilliance with the Texans, and he's going to get the handoff here. And Nick Chubb rolls downhill. He's on his feet, and Nick Chubb is going to get 6 yards. Yeah, but I forgot he existed. He's on the Texans. Yep. He's been there all season. And he's been a number 2 back. He actually got beaten out for the starting job. A note quickly. Is my camera glitching for you occasionally? Just a question. Because I see it out of the corner of my eye. I just see it go black and then come back up. So I'm wondering if that's a general issue. It doesn't really matter as long as you can hear me. But just wondering. Because I'm using a different screen today. So I'm trying to make sure everything's working. Handoff again. Nick Chubb still rolling. He's going to get 6 yards, 2nd and 4. He'll occasionally do that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix that. That's fine. Can you hear my voice, though, the whole time? My voice doesn't glitch out? Second and 4, 9:50 to go here. Texans have had a pretty balanced attack, 5 runs and 6 passes. It'll be 2nd and 4. Schultz in motion for Houston. And it's a handoff to Woody Marks. Woody Marks has the edge. Woody Marks making his mark. He's inside the 15, and a huge run from Woody Marks. Mostly, yeah. Oh, okay. That's bad. Oh, I'm sorry about that. This is the first time in a while that I've used this camera. which is why I don't know that it's working 100% because I see the black go out every so often. I might clean it in a minute. I don't know. The Wi-Fi, I don't know that the Wi-Fi is so great either. So sorry about that if it cuts out. It's a shame. CJ Stroud, handoff again to Woody Marks. Woody Marks keeps it rolling. He's going to get 5 yards. 8 yards, sorry. I got the number wrong there. Second and 2. There's Woody Marks is injured. That's not good. He was having such a good start to this game. Let's just see what happened here. It just looks like his leg gets caught up under his left leg. Yeah. I don't think it's a bad injury. I don't think he tore anything. Painful, but I don't think he tore anything. All right. So the last game of the Sunday's slate of wildcard weekend games was the Patriots and the Chargers. And neither team played particularly well. Let's just say this was probably the right game to pick regardless, because I wasn't doing Saturday, okay? I couldn't have managed. But the Patriots and the Chargers, boy, wow. The Chargers, man. Justin Herbert had a stinker of a game. Oh, I'm sorry. That was not pretty. Not a good performance for the Chargers at all. Finished with 3 points. And it was just horrendous offensive day for the Chargers. And Justin Herbert moves to 0-3 in his playoff career. And there's something that's just not clicking for the Chargers. So for now, they're considered they're considered a fraud until proven otherwise, pretty much a pretender rather than a contender. Even next season, it kind of leans more towards, they're a pretender until proven otherwise. Even if they finish, 14-3 top seed, they're a pretender until proven otherwise, because they have not won in the big moments hardly at all in Justin Herbert's career. And it's not working for them. They got to figure this out and figure it out pretty soon, because Herbert's not getting any younger. You look over at his classmates, and Tua Tagovailoa's hit a massive downfall. He's heading home. He's going to be packing groceries. And Joe Burrow's maybe considering retirement. He hasn't had a phenomenal last few years. He might pull an Andrew Luck on us, because he just hasn't been all there for the Bengals for a while now, for the last 2 seasons or so. And it's begging the question, will the Bengals ever be back to the state that they were at? But the Chargers, they truly are pretender until proven otherwise. So Woody Marks, he's walking off the injury on the sideline. And now we have CJ Stroud in shotgun. Actually, yeah. It's Kirk in motion. Stroud rolls right. He's got Christian Kirk. Christian Kirkson! Touchdown, Texans! And Houston has got the first points of the day in the end zone. 6-3. Christian Kirk, the tackle just couldn't be made by Eccles, I think it was. But look at Christian Kirk. He just slides underneath. There was a lot of eye candy. This was a classic Shanahan-style move. He just slides underneath. First man miss. Sawyer can't reach him and just misses it there. Christian Kirk with a great play to be able to get to the end zone. So 14 plays, 92 yards, 7 minutes and 1 second. That was about as good of a drive as it gets for the Houston Texans. And they are on the board now. And in the end zone, CJ Stroud doing it all. And D'Amico Ryans takes a breath of fresh air after a slow start. And Christian Kirk, welcome back. It was, I think it was Brandon Eccles who totally missed the tackle. So the Texans are up 7-3. Not surprised. think that was probably the game's touchdown. I think that might be it. That might be it for the whole time. Yeah, so I'm kind of out of topics now. So, I mean, obviously we could go college football, talk national championship, but yeah, whatever. Don't think DK, let's go. No, not against this defense. I mean, have you seen him and Derek Stingley? I mean, he's gotten lucky once or twice where he's beaten him, and he dropped one of them. Are the Eagles going into the dark ages, or will they be good again soon? They'll be good again soon. I wouldn't worry about it. They got to fire Patillo, though. If they retain Patillo, they're still going to be bad next year. But I'm not particularly concerned about it because chances are the Eagles are going to fire Patillo and hire someone along the lines of Mike McDaniel or Cliff Kingsbury or something. Ultimate betrayal there. I'm still kind of predicting Cliff Kingsbury. It would be betrayal from the Commanders, but I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. It's exactly the kind of job Cliff Kingsbury would take. So the Eagles, they just fire Patillo, get an offensive coordinator who knows how to do things. And otherwise, they've still got Howie Roseman. They still have Alec Hallaby for now. Falcons might jump on him. But they still have those two guys in the front office. They still have Nick Sirianni. They still have Hugh Lurie as their owner. They still have all of this talented people in place for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not going to go anywhere. They just need to fix a few issues, one of which being Kevin Patillo. The other, probably after that performance, is probably A.J. Brown. Maybe explore a quick trade for him. Get Jalen Hurts some more dynamic weapons. So I ultimately, in the long game, I think the Eagles will be fine. I don't know that they're going to win a Super Bowl again, but I think they're going to be more what we're expecting than that no-show against the 49ers. This camera is quite iffy. It's on a stand. I don't like it. All right, here we go. Rodgers has to throw a screen, somehow gets it to Jonnu Smith. It's not going to go much past there because Jonnu Smith is going to get upended quickly. So good pressure by the Texans defense on Aaron Rodgers. It's 2nd and 10 now. This floor is loud. Rodgers is going to go play action. He's got a free rusher, and he's going to have to throw it at the floor. That's bound to be a flag. There it is. It's going to be intentional grounding for Pittsburgh. I mean, he didn't get out of the pocket, and it was grounding. That was absolutely grounding. And there's Matt Burke of the Texans defense. Him and DeMeco Ryans have created a monster on defense. And look at Hunter, Danielle Hunter. What a move on Fautano. And Rodgers has to throw it. He can't escape Danielle Hunter. There's no way he was out of the pocket. Ruffin, no. that one was ground. That was the right call they've made. Probably the first one. They haven't made any particularly phenomenal calls so far, but that was their best. Matt Burke in his 3rd season as Texans DC, 17.4 points per game allowed this season, which is the least in the NFL, and also their best mark in franchise history. Steelers are 0 for 3 on 3rd down, and this one's 3rd and forever. And Rodgers is under pressure. He's going to throw underneath to Gainwell, and Gainwell's going to get 10 yards before he's chopped down by Henry To'o. So it'll be 4th and 10, and yet another punt is on the way for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Feels like it's worth pointing out, since that since the beginning of the game, honestly, yeah, let's just go from the beginning. First drive, 3 minutes. Second drive, 3 minutes. Third drive, less than 2. This one's less than 1. They're going lower and lower and lower. The Steelers are not being able to maintain drives right now. They might get in some trouble as the game goes on. Don't field this. Okay. Don't touch it. Okay. So when you look at time of possession, Texans, 14 minutes. The Steelers only have 9, but the Steelers have had the ball like 5 times. Texans have had the ball significantly less, and they have the turnover. The Steelers have had the ball 4 times. They have 8 minutes. Texans have had the ball 3. They have 14. So time of possession in play right now for these two teams. Which team in each conference is most likely to dominate the next 5 years? Well, let's see. Let's go through it. I will say, as the NFL's youngest team, consistently the Texans are probably going to be good every year. I don't know if they'll dominate, but they're going to be good the next 5 years because of how young they are. They're just incredibly young and talented. The Jaguars are probably going to hit their fall off in 3 years. The Patriots are close. The dynasty isn't back because they're not winning the same way. So you can say they may be starting a dynasty, but the dynasty isn't back. It's not the same thing. It's two very separate entities, two separate dynasties. So the Patriots now, they're more defensively focused, and that's how Mike Vrabel likes to coach. They're no longer, the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady thing. I actually think that Drake May and Mike Vrabel have a significantly better relationship and better coach-to-quarterback relationship than Bill Belichick and Brady ever did. And Tom Brady, he was a good quarterback. I think this Drake May, Mike Vrabel, I'm not saying Drake May's not good. He's very talented. He's very good. But a big part of that is Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels have made something very special in New England, and it's been a combination of those two connecting with May. I think they need everything in place for this to keep on working. So my big concern is Josh McDaniels gets another job in 2 years, and the Patriots start to struggle a bit, because ultimately he's the one working with the offense. So that's how I feel about the AFC. So probably the Texans are going to be good for a while. The Jaguars are going to be good for like 3 years. It's unclear. The Browns, Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers are all knows. The Dolphins know. Bills know. Jets know. Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders all probably knows. So I would say Broncos are probably up there as well. Handoff Woody Marks. Woody Marks is going to get WWE slammed after a gain of 4. Glad he's back in the game. The reason I say Broncos is because I only got the Broncos pegged for 4. Because in the 5th year, Bo Nix is already kind of old. We don't realize it, but he was in college a long time. He's already 25. So he'll hit his prime in 3 years, and then after that, it's going to start spiking, It's just how it goes. So in the AFC, long-term wise, the Texans are an incredibly young team that are already 12-5. Oh, second bad snap for the Texans already. Stroud's going to have to make something happen. He fumbled. What's he doing? It's going to be Steelers football. Oh, man. CJ Stroud makes another error. There was a bad snap, and Stroud, he just needs to hold on to it. That's a young, see what I mean? That's a young team if I've seen one. That is not a mistake that veteran quarterbacks make. You got to hold it tighter than that. That's 100% a fumble. That's not okay. It was a low snap. Stroud couldn't get his hands on it. Steps up, and he's not holding it. He's trying to throw with a guy in his face. He just can't do that. He knows it too. He's sitting on the floor. He's thinking he should have done it. I'm pretty sure that's what D'Amico Ryan said too. Why are you holding it like that? And that's unfortunate because the Steelers are basically instant red zone now. And this is how Pittsburgh wins this game. The Texans have the second best turnover margin in the NFL. Oh my goodness. And a play is blown up by Jalen Petrie. Wow. They tried to shovel it over to Jalen Warren, and Petrie was in the backfield quickly. Look at this. This is going to be the Swarm City play of the drive. That's not his assignment. He's a corner, and he comes flying in. I mean, he knows the run's coming, and he just absolutely shoots the gap and makes a huge play. Steelers on 3 and out in their last two straight drives, trying to avoid one here, hopefully get in the end zone. Texans bring pressure. He's going to flip one out to Gainwell, and Gainwell's torpedoed by Kamari Lassiter. And Kamari Lassiter, wow, look at that speed. Move the microphone farther. That was incredible. I mean, he's nowhere near him. Again, this is just the Swarm. He's 10 yards away from him when that ball's thrown, and he just shoots him down. It's 2 straight losses of 2 yards. 3rd and 14 now. The D is fired up. Then again, this is just how they normally play. So it's hard to tell, even with the frustrating of it. And pressure coming. Rodgers, under pressure, throws. A man's fallen, and Gainwell's not going to get the first down. He's going to be a yard short. It'll be 4th and 1. But a good effort from Kenneth Gainwell. And the Steelers are keeping their offense on the field. 4th and 2. And yeah, To'o. Thank you. Thank you, Troy Aikman, for picking my general manager, my head coach, and for telling me how to say his name. Kick it. You only need 9. Go or kick. Analytics says go. You only need 9 points to win. Yeah, they're going for it. I don't mind this. Considering how excellent the Texans' defense is, you're not going to get many more chances. And, they throw it. And is he going to get there? He will. And a great play call from Pittsburgh. They sell down on the run. And Rodgers gets the delivery out there to Adam Thielen for 4 yards. And Rodgers, he can't hear through the crowd. They got to quiet this crowd down. 1st and goal now for Pittsburgh. They really did. That was an RPO. And then the Texans, they full on went for the run. The Texans, they've allowed touchdowns on 94% of goal-to-go drives, which is really bad considering their defense, but they don't get them down here very often. Warren going to get only a yard before he is swarmed. And that is you're like, yes, we take risks. We win 9-10 games. 2nd down now for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers offense. Can they capitalize on the Stroud turnover? Will they have to go for it on 4th down again? Kamari Lassiter, he's had a career year, 12 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, and 91 tackles. Second and goal. Smith in motion. Rodgers play action. He's got no one. He's under a lot of pressure. He's going to throw one deep and incomplete out the back of the end zone. The Texans forcing again 3rd and long. This is where the Texans have thrived and the Steelers have struggled. The Steelers, I don't think they've converted a 3rd down yet. No, they are 0-5 on 3rd down. Here's a flag. Thank you, Joe Buck. It's an eligible man downfield. I should just keep them on. I don't know why I've been muting them this whole time. Like, you can't hear them. Hopefully. You can only hear subtle chattering in the background. Just sounds like there's someone in my house. 3rd and goal, so the ineligible man downfield is declined. Yeah, I think he was going to dump it off. And Anderson shut it down. This is, again, the excellence of the Texans' defense on full display. On 3rd down, he's 4 of 5 for 35, but still no first downs. Rodgers to throw. Pressure coming. Rodgers, he's going to be taken down. And the Texans get home on Rodgers. It's 4th and goal. And they don't have to snap the ball again, and they won't. It's 4th and goal, and they'll take this one to the end of the 12 minutes leading up to the second quarter, to the 2-minute warning. So 2-minute warning coming up here. Rodgers just gets tripped up, and great, excellent by Will Anderson, just getting clobbered there. It was mostly Danielle Hunter. They're showing Will Anderson. He got the pressure and then he fell, and he was just there. So 2-minute warning, 7-3. Texans have the lead. Steelers are going to have to settle for a field goal. Next. Aaron Rodgers visibly upset after that one. Understandably, I mean, they got the first down after all the work. 4th and 2, they had all the effort to get there, and they ended up right back where they started. So 4th and 17 from the 17. Not pretty for them. So they're going to have to kick the field goal. And it'll be 7-6, assuming the easy Chris Boswell kick. So 2-minute warning. It's been exactly what I expected. So far, my prediction is spot on. I'm not entirely certain we're going to get another touchdown in this game. It's just going to be Steelers field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. And the Texans are going to get 3 more field goals, and that's going to be enough. It's not particularly difficult to beat either team if you play it right. But here's the thing with the Texans. The Texans can beat the Steelers. And the fun thing is, the Texans can beat the Broncos too in this same kind of game. They could go off. The defense on defense just go crazy. The first they have to get through the Patriots, though, if they win this. And honestly, they could beat the Patriots as well. The Texans, they're good at getting into the nitty-gritty defensive games. They just need their offense to play well enough. And if the Patriots play like they played against the Chargers, that's the kind of game the Texans want to get into. They want it to be tough. They want you to play good defense so that they can play good defense. And then eventually, it's never the Texans that snap first. You don't want to get into a game with the Texans like that. The Broncos hardly ever snap either, which is why I think it'll be a great AFC Championship game if that's the result. Broncos-Texans. The Bills are the only team left that I truly think beat the Texans. Just straight up. They beat the Texans. But Houston, they got a shot against the Broncos. They had a chance against the Patriots. I give them what they got. No, go Bills. We're not doing that here. And the Texans, but yeah, the Texans have their chance. They have their window. They have a fairly favorable schedule, fairly favorable lineup. So Boswell's 35-yard attempt is good. So it'll be 7-6. And the Texans will have the ball with 2 minutes left. No. They don't deserve to be paid. So there's been, she was just saying how there's been the snap exchange has been shaky. He's lost 4 fumbles tonight. 2 of them he's lost. And it hasn't been beautiful for them. The snap exchange has just been a little off, a little low, a little high, a little to the right. I mean, there's been something wrong. So he's over on the sideline. He took full ownership, but he wanted to clean up the snap. So they got together and practiced a bit. And it really shouldn't be the most difficult part of the game for any offense. And right now, that's the thing that's plaguing the Texans the worst, is the fumbles, the bad snaps. So 157 till the half after the Chris Boswell field goal. This one will be returned. Not well. Oh, a great move. And then he's smacked. So it was he was almost there. And then he got smacked by Ben Skronik. So at least he was, I hurt Ben Skronik. I like how there's a sign for him. The college football playoff national championship. Number 1, Indiana takes on the Miami Hurricanes in Miami. So a little bit of home field advantage, but not really because Fernando Mendoza's from Miami. So interesting little storylines going into that one. Stroud hands it off to Woody Marks. That's next Monday, by the way, the national championship game. I am super excited for it. I was going to do a commentary on it, but it's the Hurricanes. So I'm going to watch it. It's the first time a Miami sports team has been in the championship since. Well, that was a bad example. It was the first time a Miami football team has been in the championship since 2001. The Hurricanes were the last one, and it's been 25 years. So I'm like, wait. So last time a Florida team has been in the championship, you mean 6 months ago? Stroud, quick throw over to Christian Kirk. Kirk's going to get 5 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. Texans still going hurry up. The Steelers called timeout, I think. Yeah, Pittsburgh took a timeout. There's 1 minute and 7 seconds left, and Mike Tomlin took his timeout on 3rd and 1, so they want the ball back. There's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. He lives in my house. That's the guy who's picking the Dolphins general manager, John Eric Sullivan, and their next head coach, which I really hope is not Jeff Hafley. That was bad. I'm sorry. I don't want a defensive coordinator whose defense can't hold up on it with a 21-6 lead. I'm sorry. No offense to your Packers, but I don't want that. Honestly, Chris Shula would be remarkable. That would be so cool. We wouldn't even care if he was good. We're just like, his last name's Shula. Oh, they went under center. That didn't work. Oh, it did work with the second push. Oh, a good second push. And they had Cade Stover line up under center. And Stover did not get the initial yardage, but a massive push gets 4 yards and a first down. 50 seconds left. Texans forgot they were on a timer. And quickly, Stroud throws, caught by Stover, and Stover's going to get 5 yards. I would call timeout here. And they do. We need a second half coordinator. What about you replace Adam Stenovich? He hasn't done anything. 2nd and 5. After this Texans timeout, back in 30 seconds. 7-6 Texans lead, trying to inch their way into Steelers territory. Honestly, Adam Stenovich is one of those guys where I'm just like, what does he do? It's like the Dolphins. They had Frank Smith their entire time with Mike McDaniel. And it's like, what's his job? Because the Dolphins, we weren't good at challenging things. We weren't good at really time management. What did Frank Smith do? Because McDaniel was calling the plays. What did Frank Smith do? Did he pretty much just make sure Mike McDaniel didn't get run over by a referee or something? I don't know. What did he was just sitting there. His main communication was with Tua, and big work that did. I don't like Frank Smith, but I don't know what Adam Stenovich's deal is. They never talk about him. They never see him. Important stuff. Yeah, I know. He doesn't do anything. Same thing with Adam Stenovich. LaFleur calls all the plays. He does all the work. What's Stenovich doing? Why is he just have a title to have a title? Like, come on. It's classified. You're like, I don't know. He does something. Yeah. So speaking of the Miami job, who should take it? I want Chris Shula. I really do. I don't care if the Rams played a terrible game against the Panthers. And their defense was, mediocre throughout. His last name is Shula. No, that's why. He would get a solid 2 years of Dolphins fans loving him before they hated him. just off of that, just off of his name. He would get way longer of a leash than McDaniel did. Actually, that's not true. He'd probably get the same leash. Because, McDaniel won immediately. And that's what got us going. We were like, yeah, we love him. And he lasted 2 years of us liking him, 2 years of us hating him. Shula doesn't even have to be good. He's just like, hey, we love him for 2 years. And, if he sucks, we're going to fire him 2 years after. But, if he's good, if he's really good his first season, then we're going to love him. And, if he wins a playoff game, he's going to be Don Shula 2.0. I mean, he's either going to have the greatest success in Miami ever, or he's going to have, temporary fan bases, and then he's going to get fired. So we'll see. Yeah, it'll be interesting. That's who I want. Otherwise, we're probably going to get Clint Kubiak. I don't think we stand a chance for Harbaugh. I wish we did, because that would be cool. But I don't know. I don't think it's likely. I would be surprised. It would be a welcome surprise, but it would be a surprise. Stroud under pressure, throws deep. CJ Stroud, oh, it's knocked away. What All right, why you? I don't know. First time I've ever gotten a notification saying my connection's unstable. So Stroud, he takes a hit. It was a great ball. And what a play by Chuck Clark, knocking the ball out. Oh, Chuck Clark was injured. So credit to him for making the great play, but he's going to take the timeout here. The Steelers call their second timeout, 3rd and 5. Sixth-round pick by the Ravens in 2017. He's been a welcome addition for the Steelers. But look at this play. I mean, just helmet to football. Ooh, yeah, ow. He got shouldered in the back. But just an excellent play. Breaking that up, because that would have been just instant field goal for the Texans. 35 seconds to go, 1 timeout. He put his body on the line for the team. Third and 5. Nico Collins in motion. Stroud to throw. Pressure coming. Throws underneath. He's got Christian Kirk and a first down. It's a first down. Timeout, Houston. This is dangerous. They're playing a dangerous game. It doesn't feel likely that they're going to take anything less than a big shot here, because they got to trot Fairbairn out quickly. No more timeouts for them. They either have to get out of bounds or have Fairbairn ready to run. So if you're the Steelers, guard downfield and guard the sidelines. Forget about the middle of the field. That's the main goal. Fairbairn is 35-35, under 50 yards this season, but from 50 plus, he's missed 4. One timeout left for the Steelers. Texans have none. 1st and 10 with 28 seconds to go. Schultz in motion. Stroud steps up. He rolls right. He's going to throw deep. Oh, he had him. He just missed him. Oh, he would have had it. And CJ Stroud has not had a good game. Just count on a fumbled snapping. Oh, Stroud, he had him as well. It was a good route by Nico Collins. He's open. Yeah, that was off the mark. That was not the right throw from CJ Stroud. He had him. So 2nd and 10 now. 22 seconds left. Blitz coming. Throws to the sideline. Woody Marks is drilled. And it's incomplete. Maybe a fumble. Saying no. Incomplete. 3rd and 10. 16 seconds left. Woo. Woody Marks got smoked by Peyton Wilson. I mean, it's just a little dump down and then boom, it just put his shoulder into it. Yeah, no way. That wasn't a catch. He didn't have anything. He got absolutely upended. I'm surprised the sideline wasn't yelling at him to get on the ball sooner. 3rd and 10, 18 seconds left. Texans have converted 7 of 8 third downs. This is 3rd and 10, though. Steelers rush 6. Under pressure. And ball's out. He gets it off. Oh, man. That was surprising. It's like, what? So, Stroud, why is he staying on the field? He might stay on the field. I can't believe he completed that pass. This is a risk. No, you got to punt, right? Yeah. You got to punt. I mean, yeah, okay. This is the right call. Just take it into halftime with a 1-point lead. See you on the other side. You get the ball first. It's fine. So Tommy Townsend attempts to pin them deep. It's another... Oh, this one's actually a decent punt. Oh, just don't touch it. Oh, 1 second left. Maybe. No, it's halftime. They just pretended that they didn't blow the whistle with 1 second left. So we are at halftime in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There's D'Amico Ryans. So D'Amico Ryans basically just said his defense is playing well. They have to stop fumbling the ball, and that CJ Stroud is doing excellent. Which, all very good points from D'Amico Ryans as the Texans have a 7-6 lead. Aaron Rodgers is getting beaten up and battered the way we thought he would. This Texans defense has, since that opening couple of drives, he has been, under pressure. This Texans defense has been unrelentless. This Texans defense has they've been relentless. The Texans defense has been very good. They've been swarming due to their name, Swarm City. They've been very good throughout this first half, and they just have to keep it up throughout the second half. And the Steelers, they have no answer. They just don't have a mobile enough quarterback to be able to keep the plays alive. So the Texans, they're playing really well. They're doing everything they have to do, except for the turnovers. The 2 fumbles have kept Pittsburgh in this game. Otherwise, the Texans could be leading potentially 21-6 right now. Then again, according to the Packers, that's not a good enough lead. But 7-6 is fine for the Texans at this time. It's fine considering who they're playing. This is a defensive battle, and it will continue to be so in the second half. So we will see you after. I'll see you in 11 minutes. I'm going to take a quick halftime break, make myself a drink, and then maybe do a quick little halftime show about what needs to get done for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. I will be right back. For the record, I'm going to stay here for a second and mess with things. And I really just want to check. It's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. No, not that kind of halftime show. Not that kind. I'm just checking the signal here. It looks okay. I don't see the issue here. Looks fine to me. I don't see any issues. All right, well, I'm gonna go for a few minutes and make myself some more water, and then go. Might clean the camera in a second as well. because it looks dark to me. Again, I haven't used this camera since September. I've been using a different camera since then. But this one, it's failed me. It's failed me slightly. There's occasional lag early on. It's been flawless for really. So even when my thing was saying there was internet issues, like I froze on my screen, which I almost fell. My thing froze on my screen for a second. I was like, oh no. But that's good that it's cleared up quite a bit. So hopefully it stays that way. I'm not sure what happened. My only thing is that there was a power cut earlier today in the city that I'm in. It was early. It wasn't in our area though, so I don't know. A power line just snapped. That's the only explanation I got. So I'm gonna go make myself a drink and be back in a minute. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. All right, I'm back. I may have just had some crazy lag for a second, but that was because I had to fix a cord because I was noticing whenever I put the standing desk, the thing, it was getting hooked. So I have to plug this in while I'm doing it. So getting hooked there. So that's fixed. We're good. It's fine. Quick notice. Next week, we got the divisional round Sunday night football game, which frankly could just be the Texans and the Patriots. We could just have the winner of this. We might just follow them all through the playoffs. It'll be like, welcome to the Texans official broadcaster. And just like ring me up. I'll be the Texans official broadcaster today. Because, it could just be how it ends up. Hopefully it's Rams-Bears, though, on Sunday Night Football. It's one of the two. It's either Texans/Steelers against the Patriots in New England, or it's Rams and Bears in Chicago. So I'm hoping it's Rams-Bears, but, who knows? At least we get some difference there. So it'll be interesting. And the conference championship, I will see. I might just pick that one instead of doing a poll. Because if it's Broncos-Texans, I'm doing the AFC because that sounds incredible. If it's Rams-Seahawks, I might do the NFC. And if it's Broncos-Texans and Rams-Seahawks, then I'm doing a poll because that's a tough decision to make. And then Super Bowl, of course, enjoy it with your family. I'll react to it at some point, but I'm not actually going to do anything for that. So just enjoy the Super Bowl. It's a holiday, all right? Unless you're getting paid to do it, you're supposed to take it off. It's like Christmas. It's a stretch. It's fun. Yeah. So another note, the exponential is growing exponentially. Why? Because now there is an official Instagram account of the exponential where you could catch live reactions to everything because it's quick, it's efficient, it's faster than YouTube. So that's managed account by myself. So it's just reactions to different things all across the NFL. There's already been several posts on there. This is just the first time I've said anything about it live on the stream. So yeah, new Instagram account for the exponential. I actually don't know if it's going to go up if you search. I'm not entirely sure, but you can try. The username is the exponential, but the code thing should be the.exponential. But I don't really know how any of that works. So if you find it, great. Otherwise, sometime during the week, I'll probably put the link in the description of the channel to make sure that gets out. But yeah, there's some cool reaction stuff on there. As the year goes on, I'll probably put more stuff on there. Yeah, but so far it's just been reactions to the playoffs, me reposting random things about, the Hurricanes and their great run that they've been on. Fernando Mendoza, all of that. That's the kind of stuff you'll find there. Jaguars, Dolphins. Yeah, and at some point I may put videos there. I just need to make time to make the videos. So that's something new that's going on in the community if you want to check that out. All right. This could be cool. I'm going to try something here. Nope, that did nothing. Okay, but yeah. I got the QR code thing. I don't really know that I want to do that right now. We'll figure that out another time. I don't know how anything works. I'm still new. I'm new to the platform as a creator, at least. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So we'll figure it out. So I'll probably put it in the description. And if it works to search it. Otherwise, I don't know. But there's cool reaction stuff there for just additional content. But anyway, wildcard weekend from the Berg is back. Steelers and the Texans. The Texans are receiving the second half kickoff. Yeah, Joe Buck just said they were excited to be the hosts of a postseason game. They were so excited that a school district close to the stadium actually took the day off. The first day of school, they took it off. All classes are off because the Steelers are playing. Teams need to follow suit on that. I think everyone should do that. Just play out. Whenever there's a playoff game, just cancel classes. That's how it should be. If there's any schoolwork on Super Bowl Sunday, forget about it. Cancel it. So 7-6 going into the second half here in Pittsburgh. The Houston Texans will receive here now. And Chris Boswell will kick this one, and it will be returned by Jalen Noel to the 26-yard line, where he is knocked out of bounds. Dolphins kid's gonna. That's crazy. True. You know who's getting real smart? Jets kids. At least we've been to the playoffs in the last decade. Mike Tomlin says they got to be better on third downs this half. They allowed 7 third down conversions. 8, I think. I don't know. 7. Stroud rolls to his left. He completes it, and it is thrown out of bounds. Jaden Higgins gets the first down. Gain of 16. I don't think I've gone a live stream without sneezing once. This is going to be an issue when I'm a professional. I'm going to have to be like, mute it. I'll just have to hold it in until a commercial. He gonna be talking normally. I'm gonna be over here. Yep, that's right, Jim. 1st and 10. Stroud under center. Schultz is in motion for the Texans after that big gain. It's gonna be a handoff up the middle. It's Woody Marks, and Woody Marks is rolling. And the Texans offense is starting to catch fire here early in the second half. 2 big plays of 17 and 14. 1st and 10 for Houston. Yeah, that's, some people predict plays. I sneeze once a game. Woody Marks has 73 yards tonight. Nick Chubb has 23. So they've combined for 96 on the night. A little bit of quick math. Texans are running the ball effectively. 100 total rush yards for Houston and 24 for Pittsburgh. Stroud under center. Goes play action, throws quickly, and darts one into Higgins, who gets the first down on another gain of 14. And a nice stretch there from Jaden Higgins. It wasn't the greatest of throws, but Higgins makes a great catch. It might just go all out. I feel like I've done that before, too. Just funny. He might just go all the way out. Touchdown. Yeah, I could do that. That sounds about right. Honestly, I just gotta call games that aren't where I'm allergic to stuff. Which is like, I'm not allergic to most places, nature-wise. I'm just allergic to mostly Europe. Just most of the continent. Unless it's got a decently warm climate, I'm pretty allergic. I'm not allergic to Spain. We went to Madrid. I'm not allergic to Spain. I'm not allergic to Italy. I'm not allergic to Greece. I'm not allergic to warm weather countries in general. It's just, Central to Northern Europe. No. In Florida, I'm fine. When we were in Florida just recently, I felt great. I'm like, this is the best I've felt in months. I could breathe. Like, the big thing's the sneezing. Like, I'm okay if I'm a little, it's stuffy from time to time, whatever. But it's the sneezing. I sneeze on average of 15 times a day here. It's not okay. I don't like sneezing. I'm not one of the weird people who like sneezing. There are some people who like sneezing. It's weird. Just swap me with them. I can't. I'm like, I'm fine for the most part living over here. It's just the sneezing. Ugh. Awful. So on this drive for the Texans, they're kind of rolling a bit right now. They have 3 plays for a total of 44 yards. They have the 16, 14, and 14. So 46 yards just on these plays for them. That's a 6:30 AFC Championship and NFC Championship. Is that just when the coverage starts, or is that when the actual game starts? If it starts at 6:30, you ain't doing neither of them. What's up, Jesse? Good to see you. I can't let the Texans get down. Don't worry, it's not very hard to stop them. So Cameron Hayward was apparently injured on that play. I kind of saw what happened, but I didn't know he was injured. He got rolled up on. I was worried about it, but didn't see him go down. So CJ Stroud, he's got 4 fumbles. 2 of them he's lost, 15 to 22, 148, and a touchdown otherwise. So he's been pretty good. So this one's a handoff to Woody Marks, and Woody Marks gets another 9 yards. And the Texans have been unstoppable to start this game. Well, to start the second half. You're distracting me, Jesse. Really beautiful spot for the Burns here. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Congratulations. You noticed one of the 2 new additions to the wall. Woody Marks is running the ball really well. He's been very impressive so far today. 84 yards just already. 2nd and 1 for the Texans. Stroud under center. Marks is still the back. I would be expecting him to get the call. Schultz in motion. And he will. Woody Marks is going to get the first down. Gain of 2. 1st and 10 for the Texans. So without Cam Hayward, they've allowed 2 runs now. Oh, here he comes. Can't keep him out of the game for long. One of the toughest men in the sport. So divisional round weekend, we have the Bills and the Broncos, either on 4:30 or 8, along with the 49ers and Seahawks. They're both on the West Coast, so it could go either way. Probably Broncos, Bills at 4:30, though. And then there's the 3 and 6. What is that schedule? Okay. There's a 6:30 game, apparently. They're going to be announced after the game. Handoff, Woody Marks. Marks is going to get 4 yards, be 2nd and 6. Is that not early? That feels like an early game. 6:30. Jeez. How am I going to do that? Okay. Didn't think the Texans' run game would be as good as it has been. No, me neither. Woody Marks has been really impressive. Nick Chubb has the 23 to add to it. They have over 100 yards already. Stroud hasn't had to do all that much. He's fumbled 4 times, but other than that, he hasn't had to do all that much. So 2nd and 6 inside the red zone. This has been a good drive to start the second half for the Houston Texans. Stroud to throw. Quick throw towards Schultz. And Schultz isn't going to come near the first down. It'll be 3rd and 4. Quick tackling by Pittsburgh and Kyle Duggar. 11 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 4 on the right hash of the Pittsburgh 14. 3rd downs tonight. The Texans are 7 of 9 with an average distance of 4.5. While the Steelers 0-6 with an average distance of 11. So this is what Mike Tomlin was saying coming out of halftime. They have to clean up the 3rd down play on both sides of the ball. And this is a good test for them here. Stroud's going to throw. CJ Stroud pumps once. He's going to step up under pressure. Rolls to his right. It's intercepted. And if that's not cleaning up, I don't know what is. Brandon Eccles with the interception. And the Texans turn the ball over for the 3rd time today. And CJ Stroud, he really should not have thrown that. And D'Amico Ryans is not loving the turnovers. And that is costly for Houston. They could have been up 14-6 in the way their defense has been playing. This is just not a good decision by CJ Stroud and Brandon Eccles. Both hands under it. Clean interception. It's going to be Pittsburgh football at their own 14-yard line when we come back. The Texans just do not want to win this football game. Yes. Hey, I think he had a good year. That one year, I don't think he's been all that since then. I mean, granted, he's got no offensive line. I mean, the exchanges, the center to quarterback exchanges have been awful today. They have been miserable. But frankly, when you have this good of a defense, how good do you have to be? I mean, you got to be pretty good to win the Super Bowl, but How good do you have to be to beat the Steelers? But they got to clean up the turnovers, really, because at some point, I mean, maybe not this defense, but most defenses would get worn down pretty quickly with the way your offense has been playing. But Jake Andrews, the center, Eagles entirely. True. Jake Andrews, fourth round pick for New England just a couple of years ago. And considering he's not with New England now, you get a good idea of how his talent level is because he's only been in the league 2 years. So they haven't had a reliable center, and there's been exchange issues today. And then there's this interception, which just the protection broke down. And Stroud's made a couple of questionable decisions today, holding the ball on the pressure from Nick Herbig earlier, from TJ Watt earlier. He should not have held on to that football. And then here, he needed to throw it away. I'm not sure why he decided that he needed to throw the football there. So that was a mistake for Stroud. Probably his second big mistake, both of which ended in turnovers for them. Yeah, sorry about your Eagles, Jesse. Man, that was not a pretty game. I mean, if you had an excuse to fire Patullo, you got one. You got a good one. I was saying earlier how if you don't fire him, there's going to be literal riots through all of Philadelphia because you got to fire him. Like, actually, it's time. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of things about McDaniel. I'm a little concerned about Mike McDaniel to Philadelphia because it's already been proven that he doesn't work well with Vic Fangio, but I guess he doesn't really have to with Sirianni as the middleman. But I think Cliff Kingsbury, who I have circled for your Eagles, frankly, I think it would be decent. I mean, it's a little traitorous of him, but you guys love that kind of stuff. So I think that would be the best hire. Jaylen Warren is going to get the handoff, and he's going to get a solid 5 or 6 yards. So they're going to give him 7. Very generous. So 2nd and 3 for Pittsburgh after a nice run there from Jaylen Warren. See, I got Cliff Kingsbury circled because he's very Kellen Moore-like. Like, the similarities are there. So I could see how Cliff Kingsbury could end up being who the Eagles target. McDaniels also kind of has that similar relative resume, but the thing is, him and Vic Fangio, they didn't work, so I don't know that you'd want to bring that in. Warren, nice move. He's going to come close to the first down. The Texans defense might have stopped them short. The line looks like it. I have lag. Okay, wait, we're good. We're good. I think he missed. I don't think they gave it to him, really? Okay. I'm not a huge fan of this referee crew. Again, this full crew: Craig Rolstad, Frank Steratore, John Jenkins, Rich Martinez, Daniel Gallagher, Brandon Cruz, and Brett Bergman. So yeah, don't love this crew here. They've made a few questionable decisions. Ooh, Texans showing some heavy. Oh, there's a false start coming for the Steelers. Yeah, Jonnu Smith, false starts here. I saw it. It was funny. Yeah, I saw it. My favorite one that you posted, I think it was earlier today, I'm not sure, it might have been last night, was the Madden thing of Saquon, run the ball up the middle, throws it incomplete, A.J. Brown, deep, incomplete pass. That was perfect. That was amazing. that was the funniest thing I've seen so far. That was good. Because it was so accurate. I'm like, that was the entire game. Quick throw. Oh, and he's swallowed up. And another great play made by Jalen Petrie. They tried to a screen on the Texans defense. They swarmed him. Swarm City D coming back in this one. Get Petrie. He just goes through. He just goes through MVS to get to Calvin Austin there. Didn't stand a chance. D'Amico Ryan's liking what his defense is doing. So, I mean, hey, if you can win the game 7-6, do what you got to do. Rodgers, he's got a shortest in the NFL completion percentages, or yards downfield completion average. Oh, free rusher. He throws a quick one. He's clobbered by Petrie. So Calvin Austin makes the catch. Petrie locks it down, and Rodgers almost got smacked. Absolutely shame. Yeah, fine. Yeah, Rogers he almost got hit hard. This Texans defense, they're flying everywhere. The Steelers have 0 third down conversions in the first half of a playoff game for the first time since 1989. This is the worst. Petrie dishing out the punishment. Yeah, he is. He's hitting hard. Rogers throws. He's got a man and a first down. So a strike thrown there to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Got that old Green Bay connection going between him and Aaron Rodgers to get the first down. You're good. It's fine. I've shouted you out once. It's fine. Whatever. I don't have any Eagles fans here. Actually, that's not true. I have one. I know my fan base. I guess I got you, Jesse. So you're two. Aaron Rodgers, 2 of 5 for 38 on 10-plus yard throws today. First and 10. He's under center here. And he will hand it off to Kenneth Gainwell. And Gainwell's wrapped up as the Texans swarm him in the backfield. Will Anderson was the first man there. He's going to lose 2 yards. Why do they try? This is something I'm not getting right now. Why is Arthur Smith insistent on running the ball on first down? It's just not working. All this for these two teams to get dominated by the Patriots in the next round. I mean, yeah, probably. I think out of the two of them, the Texans can win. I was saying it earlier, the Texans can win if they play a game like if the Patriots offense plays the way they did against the Chargers and the Texans defense plays the way they did all season, the Texans can win. The final score will be something like this, but Rodgers under pressure. He's got hits and he's going to throw it and it's almost intercepted. It's going to be 3rd and 12. Aaron Rodgers has no time. This Texans defense just hasn't let up. I mean, it feels like every yard is a struggle right now for the Steelers. I mean, I'm telling you, Texans, if they play a little better on offense, they can beat any team that comes their way. They're a big underdog pick for this Super Bowl run. They can do it. Like, they have the ability to. Their offense just needs to be way better than what we've seen this season and what we've seen today. But their defense, this is a championship defense. I mean, you put pretty much any offense on this defense, and you got yourself a Super Bowl champion. Rodgers uncorks one deep. It's incomplete. No PI. So 4th and 12. Steelers fans not happy. I thought it was mostly fine. He's looking back, which is the only reason I say it was fine. He's looking backwards. He's playing the ball. There you go. See? Thank you, sir. Proving me right. Not a foul. So Corliss Waitman will punt this one away. And it's a good punt to the 19, where Noel will return this one to the 30. Kind of rooting for the Patriots going forward. I am a Patriots fan. Yeah, you're not a Dolphins fan, boss. I mean, most of them are fine. Others, but most of them are pretty chill. They were insufferable 10 years ago, but now that they got humbled for a few years, they're nicer. They just needed a new generation of Patriots fans, really. Because originally they were hoy, but they've gotten significantly nicer as a people. And if I had the rings, hey, I mean, you guys have the second most rings in the last 10 years, right? Yeah, that's stats, right? Because it's Patriots, Chiefs, Eagles. Yeah. Yeah, you're top 3. That's pretty good. You got 2. It's better than most teams. Again, I just love when people are like, let's fire our coach. And I'm like, please, come on, man. Do it. I dare you. You know, the Packers, they're like, well, let's fire Matt LaFleur. The Dolphins are over there like in the shadows creeping up on him. Like, do Like the scene from Star Wars where Palpatine's behind him. Do it, fire him. They're just gonna take it. Same for Harbaugh. They're like, do it, and then they did it. And yeah, not literally, but you get my yeah. I mean, it probably is literally on fire somewhere. It's Philadelphia. Sorry. It was funny because when I was there for a week, I was reading the news because I thought it was fun. I think it's funny to research, local news whenever I'm in a new city. And there were some crazy things. They were like, oh yeah, an entire block blew up. I'm like, what? That's some Philadelphia stuff there. I'm like, a block blew up, and they're like, yeah, an entire neighborhood just. Oh my, that sounds about it sounds about right. The car that just exploded somewhere on the highway. I'm like, what's happening? From the 80s. Yeah, sure. That was from the 80s. No, it was recent. It was like I think it was only like 3 or 4 houses. But while we were there as well, like it was actually while I first met you that week, there was something on the news about how a house had like a gas leak and 3 houses got taken out. I'm like, what? Like, this doesn't happen. CJ Stroud rolls to his right. He's going to hit Hutchinson, and Hutchinson's going to get 5 yards, be 2nd and 5. It was more recent than the 80s, Jess. I'm sorry, man. I hate to break it to you. They don't call it brotherly love because of the people, except for you. You're my brotherly love, Jesse. Have I told you? I feel like I've told. I'm thinking of the thing with constantly. Yeah. I know that too. Yeah, that's what I. Yeah, normal Philadelphia stuff. No, it's a thing. It's a thing. I've heard it before. It's Philadelphia. I believe anything. When they said cheese could go on steak, nobody believed them either. So it's an illegal formation. Or an illegal motion, on Houston. Back them up 5 yards. So the play from Woody Marks isn't going to count. That was the worst flea flicker ever. So that was one of the fumbles. That one was the turnover that was not his fault. This was the one that was. He just holds on to it. Why is he holding it that loosely? And then it gets stripped out. And then the interception, he should not have held on to the ball. There, Cowboys fans. It's Philly. I believe anything. He should be. Yeah. I believe anything about it. Cheese can go on steak. Who knew? Stroud holding on to the ball loosely. Good. He's going to take the sack. That's the correct thing to do there. So 3rd and long now for Houston. So 3rd and 10 for the Texans. Try and keep this drive alive. Restore some of their previous momentum. It's just been defense. The reason mostly I want the Texans to go to the AFC, I want them to beat New England so that we can get a Texans-Broncos championship game. And so the entire world can watch a 3-3 game. It'll be so funny. Stroud backs up deep, and he missed him anyway, but Collins slips on his route. So 4th and 10, and this has not been a good day for CJ Stroud and the Texans offense. Again, I'm pretty sure it hasn't been a good day for anyone that's not on the defense. Collins, he tries to make a great move and he slips. Oh, the grass. Oh, man, he took a chunk out of it. There's a whole story about all of the ghost stories and how Acrisure Stadium is apparently haunted, which I actually didn't know until just recently. This will be returned by Calvin Austin. And Austin's going to get to the 24, where Pittsburgh will start their next drive. Led by future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers. But on the other side, the Texans' defense is the more impressive thing. So they're coming onto the field next. Yeah. So Rodgers, he hasn't even hit 100 yards passing yet. Did you see that? Yes, I did. I don't know that I reposted it, but there was something about It was Ohio State. So Ohio State last season or 2 seasons ago against Georgia in the semifinals, there was a sign, a highlighter green sign that said John 3:16 on it. And then 2 years later, against Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, there's the sign that says John 3:16 on it, highlighter green. They missed that field goal. So they missed field goals in both of them. And if you look back at the Ravens field goal, on that field goal, there's a highlighter green sign that says John 3:16 on it. And they missed that field goal. So people are like, huh. I don't know if I can find it again, but look it up because it's crazy. I was like, there's got to be something there. It wasn't meant to be. Like, we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. And they're like, but not the kicker. Yeah. It's crazy. I saw, my mind was blown. I was like, what? That's it was like they put like a biblical like they put protector over there. Like, nah. Everyone who's held the sign has been like a Georgia, Indiana, or but the kicker. Yeah. They're like, we can do all things except the kicker. He can't do anything. Like, it's got to be something because it's the exact same sign. Like, I'm almost certain it has to be the same person because it's two Ohio State games in a Baltimore game, and I've seen that sign before. I've seen it before at other Ravens games. I'm pretty sure on TV. So I'm like, is it a Buckeyes Ravens fan that's jinxing all of their kicks? What's going on? No, I have no idea, but it's crazy. So if you look back at the Ohio State missed field goal against Indiana that would have tied it in the final minutes, there's a sign there. Baltimore's one, they had a sign there, and then the 44-41, or I think it was 44-42, Georgia went over Ohio State. There's a sign there as well. It's crazy. It's like, what happened? Don't mess with that. Quick throw. Oh, a good throw and a good catch over the middle there. That's Adam Thielen. AFC North connection there. And it's both people finally in their probably in their final season here, as he just climbs the ladder to make the catch right in the zone there. That sign things like you don't mess with Jesus. That's funny. It was funny when I saw it. I'm like, oh. No, it's excellent. All right, here we go. 45-yard line. Play action. Rodgers under pressure. He's going to throw towards the side. Jonnu Smith is taken down. Azeez Al-Shaair with a great tackle in the backfield. 2nd and 11. Jonnu Smith has had a poor game. 2:34 here in the third quarter. Steelers at 2nd and 11, still a 1-point Texans lead. My prediction coming into this game was the final score 16-9. It doesn't feel likely that the Texans will get that many more field goals, but I did say there's only going to be one touchdown and maybe 3 field goals. So there's only going to be one touchdown is what I said. And so far there's only been one. Rodgers gets hit hard, throws an incompletion, pressure by Will Anderson, of course. Wow. That's a mighty fine stretch you got there. That is cool, though. You know what? I met someone was it last Wednesday? It was last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I met someone who's like cousin's brother or something. I don't know what it was. It was something weird. It was like cousin's godfather's Matthew Stafford. I'm like, huh? They were like, yeah, I'm a Rams fan. Why? Because my cousins. Oh, Stafford loses. Sorry, Rodgers lost the football. There was a strip sack. McCormick gets back on top of it. It's 4th down. So I got to pay more attention. I was lost in my head. Danielle Hunter got the strip sack. McCormick hops back on top of it, so it's 4th and forever. So this one's going to be a punt for Pittsburgh. I was too busy trying to remember the complicated correlation that this random person I met had to Matthew Stafford. That was a clean strip sack. But good hustle by McCormick getting it. So the Texans defense, yet again, putting on a clinic here in Pittsburgh. Nice move by Noel, and he's going to get out of bounds at the 23. The Texans now have the ball. It's like watching a brutal ping pong match. So, yeah. Person that I met's cousins, like godfather, is Matthew Stafford. Yeah, so they were like, yeah, we've met Matthew Stafford. That's why we root for the Rams. I'm like, that's really cool. I've only ever met one starting quarterback. You'll never guess who it was. It was some years ago. And he's not a starting quarterback anymore. He is still in the league, but he's not a starting quarterback anymore. Many, many years ago. Met him at the Pro Bowl. It was cool. I enjoyed it. It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough guess. Man, my throat, I feel it going. It's not good. I'll probably be fine. Let's be honest. I've only ever lost my voice once for a commentary. Not this last one, but the year before that in November, where I had just been sick forever. And that day I was just popping cough drops. Jesse knows all about that if he's still here. It's like I always had 20 or so cough drops in my pocket. So I'm not sure how many people I actually showed all the cough drops. It was funny. It was that week where we were doing something, and I was just popping them. Like, I keep coughing, so there we go. And then I want one? No? Okay. I was like the grandpa of cough drops for a week. You know how they always have the, what's the name of the candy? Oh, man, what is it? It's the little yellow ones that like old people always carry around with them. The ones that you unwrap really loudly. I don't remember. There's an old person candy. It's like designated for, old people, and they just unwrap them in church and stuff. And what? So that's how I was with cough drops the entire week. I forget what they're called. It's like it's in the corner of my mind. I'm like, I know this. I'll look it up in a second. It's 1st and 10 for the Texans. Stroud throws over the middle. It's dropped. Oh, Nico Collins had it. Oh, he had it. Werther's. I like how I searched yellow candy old people eat, and it came up with Werther's. That's the first option. That is what it is. It's Werther's. Werther's original. Yeah, Nico Collins really should have caught that. It was in his hands. That was like AJ Brown all game yesterday afternoon. I mean, that's a brutal catch. Nico Collins, he's injured. Taking him into the blue medical tent now. Could have been why he dropped it. Because he just drops it. Oh, it looks like his hand might just have gotten caught. And the terrible towels are a-waving. Yeah, Collins, he's only caught 3 of his 7 targets for 21 yards. 2nd and 10. And Stroud, he's not ready for the snap. He gets back on top of it. Oh, man, another fumble for C.J. Stroud. Alex Highsmith wanted that bad. And this quarterback center exchange is not working. It's just not operating for Houston. Stroud just wasn't ready. Just hits him in the stomach. He wasn't paying attention. He was like, what? That's not a wake-up call. I don't know what is. D'Amico Ryans is I'm surprised he hasn't crashed out on someone yet. Like, 3rd and 15 for the Texans. Pressure coming. Steps up. Stroud looks. Throws. He got him! Christian Kirk down the sideline. What a throw and what a catch. First down, Houston. 49 yards. And Houston, what a throw by C.J. Stroud. They brought the blitz, and that was the first time today that the offensive line has truly held up. And Christian Kirk runs a route to perfection. And what a throw from C.J. Stroud. He got one good play. Wow. And Christian Kirk, his second big play of the game, he's straightening the tie. 1st and 10 now for Houston at the Pittsburgh 36. When we come back in the fourth quarter, Houston gets the big breakthrough play they need. Frustrating offensive game for both teams, but this could have just broken it open. The Pittsburgh 36-yard line when we come back for the Houston Texans. Wow. That's crazy. That was good. That was really the first good play. As you met, no, I did not meet Case Keenum. That was a good guess, though. He was probably there. Honestly, he was around. It was at the Pro Bowl that I met this quarterback. It was many years ago. I'm going to look up the other quarterbacks that were there. Oh, was it really not that long ago? Was I wrong? Oh. Oh, wow. I really didn't think it was that close. Crazy. Okay, it wasn't that long ago. Surprisingly. Drew Brees was there. Lamar Jackson was there as well. So those are the two starting quarterbacks. It was Drew Brees and Lamar Jackson. So it wasn't nearly as long ago as I thought. I was like, really? I thought it was many, many years ago. It feels like a century ago. Jeez. I mean, honestly, I probably did see like Drew Brees and Lamar Jackson, but we didn't get close to them. Like, I actually shook this player's hands because we were close to where we were. We were close to this team camp because it was at the Pro Bowl. So it was like the team camp. So they were all like over there. Yeah. So no, it wasn't Case Keenum. It was not Russ. It was not Russ. No. They're close though with Russ. Well, closer. 1st and 10. Stroud hands it off to Woody Marks. Marks is going to get 3 or 4. There is a flag. It's going to be a holding penalty, most likely. And it will be. So they're going to back him up 10 yards at the 46. Now it's a tough kick for Kaimi Fairbairn. The Texans' offensive line continues to detriment their offense. I will say this quarterback was elected to the Pro Bowl 2 years in a row, but he didn't make the first one. He didn't make the first one that he was at. First and 10 for the Texans. Handoff. Woody Marks. Woody Marks back inside the 40. It's a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 13. Oh, is that Nico Collins? So Nico Collins has a concussion. And it doesn't sound good. He was hunched over, and then they carted him off. Stroud pressured. Oh, he saw him and gets it out quickly to Christian Kirk. It's going to be 3rd and 6 now. Nah, I mean, carted off from a concussion. That's never a good sign. Tannehill. Pfft. Did Tannehill make a Pro Bowl? Did Ryan Tannehill ever make a Pro Bowl? Did he actually? What? No, it looks like he did. That's crazy. Maybe he was there. I don't know. I feel like he was kind of, I mean, that season he would have been decent, so it's possible. Stroud throws one up incomplete, out of range for Jaden Higgins. He might have been there. Tannehill might have been there. I think you're right, because I feel like that's why we went. I don't know. It's hard to remember. I can't. That was a foggy year. So the Texans are going to take the 3, as expected. Here was 51 yards for Kaimi Fairbairn, 44 field goals this season, which is tied for the most all time. 51-yard field goal. Fairbairn's kick is up, and it is drilled. And Kaimi Fairbairn, perfect. 10-6. Hold up. My score is still alive. 16-9 might have been genius. Coming up, Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers offense. Should I say the Texans defense? No, Deshaun Watson was definitely not playing at this time, I don't think. It's in a weird time. It was enough years ago that I don't remember it well, but it's not nearly as long ago as I thought. Christian Gonzalez. Feel better, man. He's got a concussion. That's the only guy I'm rooting for. Christian Gonzalez. Por la cultura. Vamos. Like, you play for the Patriots, pero vamos. Russ was your closest guess. Yes, kind of. Age-wise, no, it's about the same. Yeah, it's probably still Russ. He is still in the NFL, though. So Tannehill was a off pick because he's still in the NFL. Tannehill's retired unofficially. I mean, if I knew, I don't know where he plays anymore. I think I have an idea. He might be practice squad. He might have been cut, actually. He might not be on an NFL team anymore. Oh, nope, he is. Okay, that's not where I thought he was. He's actually still in the same division that I met him on. That I met him when he was on. Same division. Or, yeah. That's not the right one. It's kind of a hard one to guess. There he is. Yeah, okay. I believe he was drafted 2 years after Russell Wilson, if that helps you. Definitely drafted 2 years after Tannehill, because I know when Tannehill was drafted. Pretty sure Russell was. Yeah, I was right. 2 years after Russ and Tannehill, because they were drafted the same year. Fun fact. All right, so Fairbairn's going to kick this one off to the Steelers. It'll be fielded at the 7 and taken out to the 31-yard line. This postseason, there's been 12 lead changes in the fourth quarter, 4 game-winning touchdowns in the final 3 minutes, and 4 comeback wins in the final 3 minutes, which are all the most in a single postseason all time. Crazy. Jimmy G, you're right. I did meet Jimmy G. Yeah, it was Jimmy Garoppolo. Good job. Yeah, I met Jimmy Garoppolo. I shook his hand. He was just like, going down the line. We were right by the 49ers camp because there was a lot of 49ers in the Pro Bowl that year. I also met Kyle Juszczyk when he was there. It was the 2020 Pro Bowl in Orlando. Kenneth Gainwell with a solid run. He's going to get 14 yards to the 45. And Kenneth Gainwell gains 14 yards there. Division round times and networks will be announced after the game. The times are crazy. 6:30. I don't know that I can do that. It might be Saturday night. We'll see. 6:30 is early. Yeah, 6:30 is early. I don't like that. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo is cool. Kind of see a resemblance with who? 1st and 10. Rodgers slings one. Oh, he almost had it. Oh, that would have been incredible. He's dropped it, but what a play. What a throw. And what an almost double catch. Oh, it gets tipped, and then he almost comes down with it. Nah, you didn't catch it. It's incomplete. But, wow. What a that was an A+ for effort for both Rodgers and Calvin Austin. That was close. 2nd and 10. Rodgers hands it off, and Gainwell's going the wrong way. Henry 2-0, and 2-guy. Oh, they make the play there. 3rd and 12. Togiai. He said Togiai. I'm allowed to say. Okay, Togiai. So Togiai, he gets the play there, and Toto finishes him off. Steelers 1 of 9 on 3rd downs, and this is a 3rd and 12. This has been their average. It's been more than 10 is their average. That's insane. It's just how good this Texans defense is. Rodgers under pressure. Rodgers is taken down. The ball's out. The Texans have it. The Texans are rumbling. It's a big man. Touchdown, Texans. Sheldon Rankins. The Texans break open the game with the defensive touchdown. Are you kidding me? It's a scoop and score. The Texans defense is all they need. Sheldon Rankins. Wow. Will Anderson, look at this. I mean, he comes flying off the edge, and Sheldon Rankins makes a great move as well. He clears 3 linemen. Anderson gets the first hit. That ball's out. Rankins gets it. He never goes down. That's a touchdown. Wow. They did it with defense. They didn't even need CJ Stroud. And the extra point from Kaimi Fairbairn is good. 17-6. The Houston Texans have broken it open. Will Anderson, Sheldon Rankins. Boy, was there an earthquake in Pennsylvania. Sheldon Rankins runs it all the way back for a big man touchdown. Wow. The Texans, this is why defense wins championships, in case you didn't know. Look at how Sheldon Rankins clears 1, 2, 3, gets there, and then gets the scoop and score. So not only did he get incredible pressure on Rodgers, but he gets the touchdown. That was all Anderson and Rankins there. Wow. They could feel that man running from Philadelphia. What a run back. That was more impressive than the play itself. And look at D'Amico Ryans losing his mind on the sideline. And the Texans finally score just with defense. Wow. And this game's an 11-point, 2-score game with 11 minutes left. And with the way your defense has been playing, The Steelers are aghast, and Gainwell's making some nice moves on the kick return, gets to the 33, but the Texans eventually find him there. Wow. Flashback. D'Amico Ryan sacked Aaron Rodgers. Wow, Aaron Rodgers is old. He gets the sack on him there. Wow, look at D'Amico Ryans. Played for the Texans, now coaches the Texans, and is doing a phenomenal job. He just likes sacking Aaron Rodgers back in 2008. That's how you know you've been in the league a long time, when the head coach of the opposing team. I wasn't watching football back then. No, me neither. 1st and 10. Rodgers throws deep. He's taking a shot, and he's going to overthrow Muth. 2nd and 10. That's how you really know you're old. When you've been playing so long that the opposing head coach is not only a year younger than you, but sacked you when he was a player. Look at this. He's 42. D'Amico Ryans is 41. That's brutal. Wow. That's really funny. 2nd and 10. Rodgers, under a bit of pressure, throws underneath to Warren, who's smacked by Al-Shaair. Great tackle. 3rd down. This Texans defense is on fire. No stopping the Texans D right now. Rodgers is going really quick. He's going to throw over the middle. What a catch! Pat Freiermuth holds on to the ball somehow. There's a flag. But what a catch. Muth. What was the penalty? It might be a holding on the left guard. I think this is coming back. Oh, never mind. That's why they went so fast. I was wondering. All right, there's 12 men on the field on Houston. So Rodgers catches the Texans sleeping and still completes the pass. They declined it. It was an 18-yard gain. Classic Aaron. Yeah, really. Going back to his Green Bay days back there. Remember all those playoff games where he used to catch them, go off sides, and then he would actually throw a bomb, like a 90-yard touchdown pass? Those were the days. 1st and 10. Those were the days for you more than me. Aaron Rodgers steps up. He's taken down. The ball's out again. I think he got it. He got back on top of it. Okay. I thought the ball might have been loose for a second. So 2nd down and 13 now. So it's just a sack there. Lecky Fotu was on the sack. Who is he? CJ Stroud? Yeah, just right there. It was just a second. And who is he? CJ Stroud? Yeah. And he wanted the late hit. But I think it's because the ball was shaking a bit. So 4 sacks for the Texans today, and their defense playing phenomenally. Rodgers, pressure again from Rankin. Rodgers throws deep, incomplete. Good defense by Caden Bullock. Targeted DK Metcalf there. Third and 13 coming up. I mean, what a throw. I mean, Rodgers, he's old. You can say, he's older than D'Amico Ryans, but he's still playing the game at a very high level. You got to give him that. Even though, he's no spring chicken anymore, but he plays the game at a very high level. 3rd and 13. Rodgers, it's swatted into the air. Oh my goodness, this Texans defense is incredible. Are you kidding me? Danico Autry. Wow. Look at D'Amico Ryans is pumped up. This defense is just putting on a masterclass. Look at, just put your hands up, big man. That's about as good as it gets. This defense, this is why they're the best defense in the NFL. They're showing it day in, day out, play in and play out. So Corliss Waitman punts for what feels like the 1,000th time today, and it's fair caught. Ooh, at the 13-yard line. So CJ Stroud comes onto the field. He's pretty much scored less than the defense at this point. The Texans D is rumbling. They're swarming. It's the Swarm City D coming in clutch in Pittsburgh. And they're 10 minutes away from booking a date with New England in the divisional round. Wow. I don't care what you say. This defense is fun to watch, okay? You can say you don't want 3-3 Broncos Texans, but that game would be entertaining. There would be like 4 defensive touchdowns. Bo Nix against CJ Stroud. That'd be crazy. I'd go off. Final score would be like 21-14, just defense, scoop and score, pick six, scoop and score, sack, fumble. That'd be great. I mean, this defense, this is fun. I've said this before. I like offensive shootouts, but I love when defenses play phenomenally. Like defenses, that's how you win games. It's just beautiful. I love watching the Broncos and the Texans because it's just when they play, it's like strangulation of an offense. Because they could be playing the best offense in the league, and they will just be struggling. They get every yard as a battle. That's how football should be. That's good old-fashioned football, folks. Back in the 50s, 60s, that's what it used to be, about 1 yard after another. You don't play for 7 points. You play for 10 yards, and that's how they force you to play. It's just so hard to beat a team like that. That's why the Texans are 12-5. Their offense isn't whatever, but their defense, it would be Bills save the AFC. I mean, yeah. The Texans, Patriots, and Broncos, if they make the Super Bowl, chances are they're winning the Super Bowl, frankly. Because you look in the NFC, unless they're playing the Seahawks. I'll give them the Seahawks. But between the Rams and the Broncos, you kind of take the Broncos. Rams-Texans is an excellent Super Bowl. Just throwing it out there. Bears-Texans is an excellent Super Bowl. But like the Bills, don't want them. I don't want them. Get out of here. Because honestly, the Super Bowl we want, like everyone should want like a Texans-Bears Super Bowl. That would be incredible. That would be so cool. A Broncos-Bears Super Bowl. Awesome. The Super Bowl we're going to get is going to end up being 49ers-Bills, and we all know it. So we might as well root for the other teams, okay? It's going to be 49ers-Bills. It's going to suck. Something terrible like that. It'll be a great season full of unpredictability, ending in the most predictable way possible. The Bills beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. It'll be awful. Like so many teams made it that no one thought would make it, and the Bills and the 49ers are playing. At least we agree about the Niners. Yeah, I don't want the Niners in. They probably will, though. Just fact. I mean, unless the Seahawks, because the Bills won't beat the Seahawks. I'm not sure many people can. They have to get lucky to beat the Seahawks. They need Sam Darnold to throw more than one interception. Stroud, quick throw. Oh, I liked that play call. And they're going to get the first down. And a quick throw to Higgins. Well, you were treading on thin ice with Jesse here, weren't you? He's a hardcore Eagles fan. He's so hardcore. He's a member of he's probably one. Yeah, I would say they're one of the leading Philadelphia Eagle free coverages in Philadelphia youth run, or people not professionally employed. 1st and 10. Handoff to Chubb. Chubb powers forward for 2. Nah, he's hardcore. You don't mess with Jesse. I'm kidding. He's cool. He's a fun guy. You should go check him out on 302 Birds. His channel is Philly Sports Network, something. I don't know. I know it's like 302 Birds is the main network, but he has his own show. He's all fancy like that. Stroud under center. Handoff goes to Chubb. And Nick Chubb is going to get 4 yards, 3rd and 4. The Texans are just knocking that clock down. So 3rd and 4 for the Texans. And yeah, there's a good reason you should go follow theirs because I'm probably going to appear on his show later in the year. It's just, teams. I'm considered the leading South Florida expert in Philadelphia right now. So only in Philadelphia. People in Philadelphia, man, they love me. People in South Florida. 3rd and 4. CJ Stroud. Stroud hits underneath. He's got Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's got a lot of running room. And Christian Kirk's still on his feet to the 36-yard line. And Christian Kirk, have a day, sir. Wow. That's his 3rd massive play of the game. He's been the only one out there. He's got 8 catches for 144 yards and a touchdown. How about Christian Kirk? A huge play here to get the Texans into Pittsburgh territory. It was just a small little undergoing route there, and he takes it 30 extra yards. It's Christian Kirk. Man, we haven't seen him play this well since Arizona. Stroud, handoff. Woody Marks continues to wind the clock as Pittsburgh is running out of time. Yeah, as I was saying, the next time the Phillies play the Marlins in baseball, or, Heat 76ers in the playoffs, whatever. I don't know exactly what he does. He'll invite me. In 3 years when the Eagles play the Dolphins again. I'm so glad we don't have to play them. I mean, we get the AFC North, so whatever. Or the NFC North. Now, I think we got the NFC North. I don't remember. We have hard opponents this year. We're going to go 2-17 or whatever. Nick Chubb is going to bounce his way to 3rd and 3. So there's under 5 minutes to play now. Steelers still have all 3 timeouts. But it's not looking good. They're going to need some Aaron Rodgers heroics. Otherwise, Mike Tomlin might not be getting the contract extension he wants. And this defense is feeling a little ghastly right now because of their offense just being unable to move the ball. Handoff, Nick Chubb. Chubb powers forward to the 21-yard line, gain of 9. There's a flag, though. It's against Pittsburgh. It's an offside, so it's going to stand. So 1st down, Houston. Wow, the Texans are about to come into Pittsburgh with a victory. I really hope they unveil the things. I might stay on for the first commercial just to see if they show the times. 6:30 is really annoying, honestly. Might have to do Saturday then. 1st and 10, Stroud hands it off. Ooh, not going anywhere this time. Chubb loses a yard. 2nd and 11. Cameron Hayward was a member of the tackle along with Chuck Clark. Rodgers has nothing to do but watch. And this game has gone pretty much exactly how I anticipated. Just Texans defense just shutting them down. Not surprised, really. Hutchinson in motion. Handoff Chubb. Chubb powers forward for a gain of 6. There's a flag, though. I think they're signaling Pittsburgh. Yeah, this Pittsburgh defense just looks exhausted. Oh, wow. Steelers they're shooting themselves in the foot right now, and they're frustrated. Understandably so. This game's getting out of hand. It's arguably, it might be over. But, Chicago, Green Bay. So if Houston wins this one, I will have gone 4 for 6 on my playoff picks. So, not the best, not the worst. I took a couple of upsets, and those are the ones that ended up getting me. So, whatever. Stroud under center. Noel in motion. There's a flag, probably a false start. Ooh, a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play. It's just going to be first down on Irante Ursary. The Texans will back up to 13. D'Amico Ryans, he's so chill. He hasn't, freaked out on anyone. I mean, he has a lot to be frustrated about, but he just hasn't. Look at Mike Tomlin, 19 straight seasons without a losing record, longest streak to start career in NFL history. Sure. I bet him. There's hardly been any people employed longer than that. 6-game playoff losing streak, though, which is the longest in team history, so we might not get to see Mike Tomlin have a losing season. Hand off to Marks. Woody Marks makes his mark. Touchdown, Texans. It's over. The Texans are up 23-6. 13-yard touchdown for Woody Marks. And the Texans are going to go to New England to face the Patriots next week in the divisional round. And that'll be an interesting game. Defense on defense all the way. 6-6 if the Texans hold on. It's pretty good. I shouldn't have taken the upsets. I should have gone with my gut. I was trying to will it, if you know what I mean, because I fully expected the Bills and 49ers to win. I was just like, I'm just going to will it. So I picked the Jags and the Eagles. I was like, I want them to win, so I'm going to pick them. And it didn't work. I'm like, okay, whatever. I know what I was really thinking. That was a good run from Woody Marks. So this game's up 24-6. Comeback hope destroyed. So the Texans, it took them long enough, but they finally got an offensive score again. So 24-6. Will probably be your final score. He's the first rookie with 100-plus rushing yards in a playoff game since 2021, which was Cam Akers with the Rams. That's interesting. That was the year of the Rams Super Bowl. Just throwing it out there. A little wink, wink. Texans, unlikely run. So they had some struggles, but ultimately the Texans got her done on the road in Pittsburgh. They allowed 17 points tonight in the fourth quarter. 10.2 was their average, which is the most in the NFL. They muffed the kick as if it can't get much worse. They return it. Yeah, it's not a bad return, though, to the 28.5. Never feel safe no matter how big the lead. There's only 3 minutes left. 1 season at Butte College, 2 seasons at Cal. Drafted 24th overall by the Packers, back up to Brett Favre for his first 3 seasons. And then he was the main exhibit, 4-time Super Bowl MVP. Oh, 4-time MVP, 1-time Super Bowl MVP. Top 5 all-time pass yards and touchdowns. That is a confusing sign. Top 5 all-time in passing yards. So this could be the very last time we see Aaron Rodgers. Ever. Unless, he doesn't retire. He's had fun this year, so it'll be close. I don't know. Oh, man, this Texans D, something else. It's just something else. How many of these plays have you seen? I mean, I came in with the whole, Swarm City hype, but man, this couldn't be any more. Like, they're just relentless. They're infuriating. I mean, they're an offensive coordinator's worst nightmare. He just batted down another pass. Rodgers throws, underneath, nope, incomplete. Same deal, 3rd and 10. So the Texans are going to send the Steelers packing again and head home to Houston for a few days victorious, and the Steelers lose again. So a salty loss for the Steelers. And again, thank you, Aaron. Have some fun here. Yeah. Hey, I mean, he's a legend. He's had a phenomenal career. He's ancient. I think it's the fact that he got beaten by a head coach a year younger than him isn't a sign to retire. Then I don't know what is. Rodgers throws to Gainwell, who's wrapped up with a good tackle from Henry To'o. I'm never going to get it. I hope it's not a Texans-Patriots game on Sunday night next week. I really hope it's not. My guess is it's going to be the Broncos-Bills game at 4 on Saturday, and then Seahawks-49ers as the nightcap on Saturday, and then Texans-Patriots, hopefully. It would make sense for that one to be the 4:30, and then the other one to hit the night game for Rams, because it's intercepted. Rodgers' potential last play is could be an interception to Cade Bullock. And Rodgers, he's still on his feet. Cade Bullock, pick 6. And the Texans are piling on in the fourth quarter. Oh my goodness. I thought he stepped out of bounds. So Aaron Rodgers throws a pick 6. And this game is really over. Man, is this score inflated. Jeez. We're like, everyone look at the game. Wow, the Texans smoked them. Everyone who watched the game, no, they didn't. Kalen Bullock, yeah, it was just a bad throw from Rodgers. Yeah, Bullock just stays put. He shouldn't have thrown it. And then Bullock takes off. He didn't step out. No, he's perfect. Wow, what a move. Yeah, okay. He did him nasty there on that move. So, yeah, this score is heavily inflated. Texans are going to finish, I mean, obviously, depending on the extra point, 31-6 or 30-6. It's Cal McNair, the Texans chairman and CEO, watching his team come up with a dominant win on the road. Texans scored most of their points on defense. I mean, seriously, the defense has scored as many touchdowns as the offense. So a 23-point fourth quarter, making it look close throughout the entire first 3 quarters and then smoking them here. So, yeah. Talk about an inflated score. Okay, now give us something good. All right, so Kaimi Fairbairn, extra point. Ooh, blocked. No good. No great. 30-6. He hit the crossbar. All right. Now, so the 23-point fourth quarter, Steelers, hey, they're fighting with valor. I don't know what happened. Was it a bad hold? Yes. Was it block? I think it was just a terrible kick. That was just a bad kick. It wasn't a great hold or a great snap, but ow. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like it's the end for Aaron Rodgers based on what he's saying. So the Steelers will need to find a quarterback next season. So this final hurrah from Rodgers has certainly been something. And he will be well missed throughout the NFL. That's just a great quarterback. Look at that career. I mean, that's 66,000 passing yards, 527 touchdowns, 123 interceptions, 36 rushing touchdowns, and 65% completion percentage. That is a Hall of Fame stat line, and a future Hall of Famer right in front of us, perhaps playing his last snaps ever. So this game was, in fact, the worst game of WildCard weekend based on score deficit. Yeah. Somehow, even though, it was 10-6 13 minutes ago. Come on. I was 7-6 13 minutes ago, actually. It's a 1-point game. It went from 1 point to 23 to 24. Yeah. Wow. The Steelers, Rodgers is not playing another snap. That pick 6 is going to end his career. Wow. So Aaron Rodgers' career is finished, and the Steelers are taking it to the 2-minute warning. They've stopped trying, so Mason Rudolph is in the game now. The wild card, the Texans, their defense, boy, did they come to play. They were Swarm City at its finest. Sheldon Rankins, scoop and score. Caden Bullock, pick 6. And, of course, a couple of offensive touchdowns as well. 30-6, 2-minute warning. Texans in full control. So Aaron Rodgers, we saw his last snap. Probably. We probably saw his last snap as a player in the NFL. We're going to miss him. He's a legendary player, Hall of Famer. But great game all around. So congrats to the Steelers for making it this far. But what a story for the Texans under DeMeco Ryans. I mean, this is just a phenomenal year for them and a phenomenal last 3 years. This is the best the Texans have ever been, factually. They just haven't been this good ever. And their defense, they deserve to be named the Swarm City defense. It's so fitting, and B, there's not been a defense. I mean, them and the Broncos, you got to name these defenses. Because, you look at all the defenses of the past, the Legion of Boom, the no-name defense, all of these defenses that got names. This team deserves a nickname. That's how good they've been. So call them the Swarm City D, might as well. And just reuse the Broncos name. Just call them the Orange Crush defense again, because that's also fitting. They crush everyone, and they're always wearing orange. So, man, Houston, Denver, AFC Championship, that's the goal. But Denver's got to go through Buffalo on Saturday, and Houston has to go through New England. And Pittsburgh has to go on a plane to Cancun. Insensitive, yes. Sorry, my bad. And in the NFC, the Seahawks have the 49ers, and the Rams are going to have the Bears. Okay. It's like, I got the Bears. That's next week. Rams, Bears could be where we're at next week. Times to be released in just a moment. So I assume the Steelers are probably done. They might just take the knees, and Acrisure Stadium's emptied, except for red. It's now filled completely with red. And Will Anderson having the time of his life. He had a day. Entire Texans defense, they deserve an award for this season's performance. And Mason Rudolph just hands it off again. Jaylen Warren still running hard for a gain of 5. And the Steelers, they are trying. Divisional round times and networks announced after game. How soon after game? Because if it's really soon, I'll just stay up. If I'll just stay on and react quickly. If it's like they know the minute after, they're like, yeah, this is who's playing. I don't remember. So I might just have to react tomorrow. And again, if you want early news on what game I'm doing or whatever, it'll probably be on Instagram first. Just because it's fast. It's faster. 4th and 2. Rudolph going to throw a screen. I'm so used to it at this point. So Rudolph completes a 2-yard pass to Calvin Austin to give the Steelers a first down. So Mason Rudolph still getting his reps in. Touchdown, 2-point conversion onside. Touchdown, 2-point conversion onside. Perfect. With Mason Rudolph, though, with 50 seconds, and off Jaylen Warren. And Warren's got a nice run. Gain of 12 and a first down. They only have to snap the ball one more time. They still are not showing the networks. They got those 4 networks. So ESPN's going to have a game. CBS is going to have, probably, my guess is Broncos Bills. Give Aaron a Hail Mary, come on. And they only need to snap the ball once more. And that is going to do it. Tomlin's taking his headset off. Final score from Pittsburgh, and the Texans are going to the divisional round to face the New England Patriots in New England, in Foxborough. 30-6 is your final score, the largest margin of victory by any team this wildcard weekend. So arguably the most dominant team in wildcard weekend. Phenomenal game for the Texans defense, and Aaron Rodgers may have played his final game as a Pittsburgh Steeler and in the NFL. Wow. That is history, folks. Texans advancing in the playoffs, and Aaron Rodgers playing his final game. Maybe. $30-6 is your final score from Acrisure Stadium. I'll give it one commercial break, and then hopefully they'll show the network sometimes. And then I'm a wrap here. So we'll see. Hopefully it's quick. Hopefully they just one commercial in there. Show it. What a game by the Texans defense. I mean, that is a clinic if I've ever seen one. Just beautiful defense. Probably one of the best defenses we've seen on the exponential since we've been commentated. Just great defensive performance. Steelers fans showing some love to Aaron Rodgers. No high fives for the fans, though. Brutal. So Mike Tomlin, it could also be the last time we see Mike Tomlin as the Steelers coach. Yeah, to Houston, you don't want to get into this type of game with them. That's why Houston can beat New England. That's why they can beat Denver, is because if it's two defenses going at it, there is not a single team's defense that I would take over Houston. If you get into a true defensive battle with them, Houston wins every time. You got to shoot them out. You have to force them to play offense, really. I mean, you really have to force them, because otherwise this defense, they're the most resilient group in the NFL. They're the toughest group. They're unstoppable. They never give up. Their offense was lame duck throughout the entire game. Like, they were terrible throughout the entirety of the game. And their defense got the scoop and score, changed the momentum, and Houston walks away with what looks like an easy victory. But instead, it was 3 quarters of blood, sweat, and tears. And then in the fourth quarter, the defense decides, oh, wait, here we go. Schedule: Bills, Broncos, 4:30. Seahawks, 49ers, 8 on Fox. Interesting. So ESPN's got Texans and Patriots, and NBC has Rams and Bears. So it'll be either 49ers and Seahawks or Rams and Bears here. So we got an NFC game, so we're switching it, which is good. So we don't have the Texans again. So be happy there. So we got one of those 2 games there. The timing, 6:30 is iffy for me, so I might have to do Saturday, but it'll be a discussion. So yeah, it'll be one of those 2 games. Both excellent, I might add. It's going to be a good playoffs. This is an incredible postseason. Either way, I'm going to have to do a 6:30 game, because apparently the conference championship games are both at 6:30 as well. What? When did this start? I thought they were all at 8. Horrible. So just a phenomenal game. So the Texans have the Patriots at 4:30. Rams, Bears, the nightcap, and the cap it off the divisional round. 49ers, Seahawks, the nightcap on Saturday. And Bills, Broncos will be opening up our divisional round. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure to be with you here tonight for what has been an incredible way to end Wildcard Weekend. Have a wonderful week to you too, man. I absolutely appreciate your time for being here, and we will see you next week for the divisional round of the playoffs for either the Rams and the Bears or the 49ers and the Seahawks. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great week. God bless. Bye-bye.